And we are back in Campillos, Masters category, going on the formation lap. We are starting heat number 3 here in Saudi World Series International Finals.
Yes, 8 races to go. All of the 200 plus drivers, 100 or so in Sprint Cup, then 30 in Masters, 30 in Ladies Cup, 30 in kids, 30 in juniors. What would that be? 120, 220 drivers have got one 10-minute heat race remaining. They will all go through to the super heats, but this is where we start to get a little bit aggressive, maybe, Gertz. It's where they start to get a little bit worried, a little bit nervous. Here is your starting lineup for Masters. Race number 3, heat number 3 for Masters on the rolling lap.
And the grid a little bit resembles last year's finals in the Masters category, because it's Geoffrey Galichet who has qualified on pole position in the heat number 3 in Masters category. Last year's winner is in front now.
Yes, indeed. He's just warming his tyres up, coming into play with kart number 1. Then it is his countryman, Frank Vignole, on the outside of row number 1. And on row number 2, we have Brazil's Eduardo Favila and Germany's Marco Lauer.
And there on the third row on the grid is Joel Forre and Makoto Kubo. Makoto Kubo already took one win in a previous heat, now is starting 6th on the grid. On the fourth row, it's Jose Pires and Olivier Lorenzon.
Bryson Gessan and Juan Esteban are on row number 5. Tero Makinen and Kazufumi Saita on row 6.
It seems like it's the best starting position for Tero Makinen so far.
Yes, indeed.
And there on row number 7, it's Jose Francisco Gonzalez Jimenez and Fabrice Lanús.
Luke Niebecker and Andrea Rocco, who drives a lot for the Team PFE in endurance as well. The Italian goes to the outside of row number 8. Farid Taglet and Julien Bezenghi are on row number 9. We got a long way to go back to find the driver that won the opening heat race of the day.
And there is Ruslan Zenis starting 19, and Gustavo Zimmerman Martins is in P20. We are racing again. Geoffrey Galichet knows what to do. He is in front. He is going into the first corner and holding his lead.
Now watch out at the back of the field, starting 24th in kart number 20 is Ian Anderson from the Faroe Islands. He won the opening heat race, as Gertz Teamrots said. Makoto Kubo won the second race, but we've got an opportunity here for new drivers to win. Kubo, starting on the outside of row number 3, and as I look down there, Kubo has not made a great start. In fact, already a huge battle for 7th place on back, and the top 6 are miles in front. Somebody on the grass coming down towards turn 10. But this is a great breakaway for Galichet, for the number 8 of Frank Vignole. In 3rd place with the Brazilian colour crash helmet, that is Eduardo Favela in kart number 13. The number 16, Germany's Marco Lauer. He needs a good result because he missed his first race this morning, slept in.
That's Geoffrey Galichet who needs a good result, and now he is going actually for a good result, because after first 2 heats we have Jan Andersen leading and Makoto Kubo in the 2nd place, but they are far behind back in this race, and Geoffrey Galichet is leading before this race. Galichet was in P4, just 8 points short from Andersen.
And, Foray in 5th and Gessan in 6th. They're the last 2 drivers in this breakaway. So we've got 4 Frenchmen, 1 German, 1 Brazilian. And bad news already for Switzerland's Olivier Lorenzon. A 10-second penalty for cutting part of the track. And that has put him, he was, he'll be last at the moment, but Lorenzon is up to 8th. That stands to reason because we started 8th, he's still running 8th, but at some point he decided to take a shortcut and missed a corner.
It was a slow shortcut, obviously.
It was a slow cut. He wasn't missing part of the track. And again, on the live chat, on the 3MK Events YouTube page, that is where we see the live chat. We don't see it if it's broadcast on Facebook or anything like that. It's on YouTube only. 3MK Events. We've already got Makoto Kubo, Rocco, the Italian driver, Andrea Rocco getting lots of support. Big Zimmerman, Big Z, Gustavo Zimmerman Martins. Lots of support for Portugal, for Italy, and for Japan on the live stream. But it is France leading the way, first and second. But Brazil are there in third place as well. Eduardo Favela.
There, further back, Ian Anderson is fighting with Ruslan Dennis for P17. Ian Anderson moving in front of Dennis now. He is in P16. That gives him a few extra points. He is still third in overall standings. If he finishes in P16, it's better for Makoto Kubo. He is now in P10 and 4 points short of Geoffrey Galichet. Galichet is at front. He cannot do anything more in this race, but Kubo and Anderson both can.
Yeah, Galichet is currently on 85 points and he leads this race. So that's the maximum that he can score. 81 points for Kubo and 77 for Anderson. Juan Esteban on 74, Eduardo Favila on 71, and Gustavo Zimmerman's Big Z. Gustavo Martins is sixth at the moment in the point standings on 67 points. Now, the two French drivers, Galichet and Vernole, they need to try and work together to drop Favela if they can.
Let's see how they will group on the track. Now Vernole is closer to Galichet and Favela is 0.2 of a second behind them. There is a clear pair of drivers at the front. That is the strategy, to get away from everyone and then decide who will cross the finish line at the front at the very last lap of the race. Now they are still trying to run away from Favela. 4 is just 2 seconds further back, and Lauer, Nguessan and Esteban and Lorentzon fighting each other. There are only a small margins between them, starting with P4 and ending with P10.
Now, as a look back at the chasing group, this is 4A, Lauer, Nguessan, Esteban. Lorencon is in this battle on the track, but he's got a 10-second penalty. But just look at the gap between that fourth place battle and the top three.
And
pulling
we
away.
Still have top 3. They are not breaking away
not
from
a top
Favela. Favela, the Brazilian, is still there chasing both Frenchmen, and it seems like we will have 3 cars battle for the win in this race.
Ian Anderson has made another move. He's up into 13th position, just behind Big Z. Gustavo Zimmerman Martins. Looking back further in the pack, let's try and pick up a couple of numbers. This, I think, is the battle for 4th place. The driver with the white and, well, let's see the numbers when they cross the line. And that is the number 22 in the middle of the pack. That's Olivier Lorentzon. So Lorentzon is the one with the 10-second penalty. That would drop him, I'm sure, down to last position. But of course, the longer this race goes on, he's chasing, the more drivers will fall further than 10 seconds behind. There's Makoto Kubo.
He just got in front of Rocco. Now Kubo is up to P9. That gives him a few points, and now he's only 3 points short in overall standings to Geoffrey Galichet. 2 places up, and Makoto Kubo will be a leading driver after 3 heats in Masters.
Yeah, and Andrea Rocco, we normally find him driving in the endurance category. He's going for the sprint this year. He qualified for the sprint this year, and he's... well, there's a few people. He could be in the Supermasters category. There he goes. Driver number 18, the ageless wonder, Andrea Rocco. And of course, you have to think for these Masters drivers, aged 40 and above.
Without limits above.
Without limit. No. You could be 140 and still qualify. If you qualify. And finally, the French resistance has broken away from Brazil. Galichet and Vignole. Look at that lap time from Geoffrey Galichet, 1:23.602. That is the fastest Masters lap of the weekend.
And yesterday it would be the absolutely fastest lap time with 23.6. We
Yep.
got one clearly faster race in a second heat, but everyone else was not so big margin faster.
This is really interesting. The best laps of the day so far came in the first two races after the lunch break. This is the first race after
You
you've just had a
think
second.
it's something to do with the lunch?
I think it's something to do with the carts have a break. They have a rest. Obviously they're not used in every single race, but their engines are running. They've had half an hour for the engine to cool down, the oil to cool down a little bit, and now they're being asked to work extra hard. They seem to like the early races
But
after a break.
They are spending time also without races. There are a lot more go-karts than they are on the track. So,
But the engines are still running. They turn the engines off completely for half an hour.
but not for all of them. Only for 30 or 25 next who will go on the track.
No, but during the break, all the carts had their engines turned off for
Then
half an
all
hour.
the cars, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But anyway, you never know. Will you get a go-kart that was just on the track, or maybe one who was resting for a few minutes?
Even if you get a cart that wasn't just in the last race, that cart is the engine still runs in the pit lane between. They don't stop. The guys, the Sodi kart team down in the paddock, they're high as a kite because of all the petrol fumes.
So that should be something about the engine, not the tires.
Yes, it could be. Favilla is hoping that his go-kart wakes up even more. Look at this. This is 4th, 5th and 6th on the road. This is Ngesan, Foray. Laurent Con is down in 15th position. Oh dear. There's an angry person. He's not going to be happy with that. That was in the blue race suit, number 3. That was Bryce Ngesan.
And will not be happy, Ian Anderson. He just got 3 seconds penalty. Now he is classified 12. He sets fastest time in the middle sector of the track. He is still fast, but got 3 seconds for push to pass.
Oh dear, now this is the battle. There's the number 2 cart. That is Jose Francisco Gonzalez Jimenez making a move. So Olivier Laurencon, I think he's not ingratiating himself to Bryce Ngesan. If I was Olivier Laurencon, I would just sort of give Bryce a couple of little minutes to calm down. Didn't see what caused Bryce to get so upset, but we did see him waving around. He's now past Laurencon. Anderson has dropped to 3rd because we've got a new leader, not in the race but in the points. Makoto Kubo has moved into 5th place overall, probably as a result of the incident between
5th now and 3rd overall.
Yes, 5th out. Fifth out, first overall for Makoto Kubo. Number 22, Olivier Laurencon. Black flag, multiple contacts, dangerous driving. I'm sorry, Olivier, your race is over. These two won't care because they're in their own private battle. The clock has struck 0. Kurtz, they're going to get the last lap board next time around. Is it going to be Galichet or Vignole?
Is this lap and one more lap to go. Galichet and Vignole fighting at the front. It's number 22 giving the black flag, and that means he will have to retire. He will not be able to continue like the drivers who got the seconds penalties and still remaining on the track on the same position. Geoffrey Galichet is leading. He's breaking away a little bit. He knows when to do that. There's Vignole right behind him. Can he accumulate this speed through 2 corners? He's closing in, and there is Geoffrey Galichet right in front of him. This battle is for a lead. Makoto Kubo up to P4, and now is already 2 points ahead of Geoffrey Galichet in the overall standings.
We had the same situation in the last kids heat where Jude Puddyfoot led the entire race up until the last lap when Livio Innocenti went by. Galichet has led the entire race. We're now halfway round, 2/3 of the way round the final lap. And it is Vignole who takes the lead. from Galichet. Can he hold on? What can the reigning defending champion in cart number 1 do?
One more point of Galichet's lead in overall standings. It's Frank Bernoulli now leading. Galichet goes inside, going downhill, 3 corners to go to the end of this race. Galichet is inside and through. Frank Bernoulli showing some gestures with his hands, but
Very
there
Gallic.
is nothing he can do anymore. It's Geoffrey Galichet.
Oh!
Side by side. There is 100 of a second between them, and it's Frank Bernoulli who takes the lead, and Geoffrey Galichet is second. There was only inches between their front bumpers and their transponders.
The next time anybody makes fun of drivers who jump up and down in their seats and says it doesn't make a difference, well, it does. The rear axle just rotates that little bit quicker. It gives the rear tyres that little bit more bite, and it just helped Frank Bernoulli win this race by 17 hundredths of a second over Geoffrey Galichet. Favila third, Makoto Kubo finishes fourth. He provisionally takes the race lead, takes the overall lead in the point standings with 87 points over Galichet on 83, Anderson on 81. Anderson eventually finished down, up in 12th place with a 3-second penalty and the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 23.557. Andrea Rocco finishes 11th with a penalty. Big Z, Gustavo Zimmermans Martins, 9th, ahead of Lauer in 10th. Let's have a little look back as the Olivier Laurenson, there's Rocco crossing the line. And Laurenson, this is not a highlights, this is possibly the lowlights of his race, because he is, he's trying to get people to follow him, and then when they didn't follow him, he did that. Oh dear.
Here going off the track. That's why he was
That's
showing
why
those gestures.
number
Now
3,
we
Bryce
see the reason.
Nguessan, was somewhat mildly miffed. But one Frenchman was very angry. I'll go and give a winner's medal to a happy Frenchman, Frank Bernoulli.
17 thousandths of a second, less than 200ths of a second between them. We will be able to see on the screen shortly the finish, the run over finish line with Geoffrey Galichet and Frank Bernoulli. Here they are fighting through the last corners. We can see how different a line took Bernoulli through the 17th corner, and then side by side Geoffrey Galichet doing everything he can, but actually it seems like Frank Bernoulli already did everything he must had to do in corner number 17, in penultimate corner, taking different line, accumulating his speed, going out to the finishing straight, and then taking the win by 100th of a second. Frank Bernoulli in first place, Geoffrey Galichet is second, and there comes Eduardo Favila in P3. Makoto Kubo with the fourth place in this race is leading overall standings after our first day of heat. So as the leader in master category, Makoto Kubo will go to the super heat on a Saturday, on day after tomorrow. Makoto Kubo is leading overall standings with 87 points, 83 for Geoffrey Galichet, moving up with this second place drive in the third heat. 83 for Galichet, 81 for Ian Anderson. Anderson, it's really good recovery considering his starting position, considering his plus 3 seconds penalty for pushing to pass. So Ian Anderson still is third in overall standings, just 2 points missing to Geoffrey Galichet and 6 to Makoto Kubo. Then with 5 points less is Esteban in P4, Favila in P5 and Zimmerman Martins in P6. That's overall standings for Masters category. Now we will continue with the women class. And we are going back on the track with the women category, starting heat number 3. Today we have already some multiple heat winners, multiple race winners. Yesterday we had only one multiple or twice qualifying winners. It was Debbie Wolfs. She took pole position twice in yesterday's qualifying and is starting at the front of the grid in the heat number 3-2. So Debbie Wolfs starting first, Sarai Garcia is second. Also great fights within the first and second heats. Ines Kruchkova on the grid in P3, Sofia Tsimbal in P4. Then is Karla Fade starting P5 with Julia Špičák. Also won one qualifying race yesterday, now is starting P6 in this third heat today. Lea Tajnikar from row number 4 together with Anna Vodecka. Then 9th on the grid is Aliona Palchik and 10th Melody Robin. Then Anja Barret and Florentien Maudrich starting from row number 6. Followed by Anastasia Tereshchenko and Natalia Ibanez Gonzalez in row number 7. Row number 8, Margot Biel and Elizabeth Johann Schulze. Then row number 9, Carol Bourgeois and Vanessa Lario. 19th on the grid, Celine Tabhuri and 20th, Nicole Protivova. 21st, Lena Marianne Boge and 22nd, Frederica Zetakova, then Felicia Heinz, Joanna Moreira, Sechli Hin, Evelina Mantiu, Rosanna Marciano, Heidi Draganic, Elisa Rocco, and Julie Tilkin. We are back on the grid and ready to race.
I've just seen the best username on the live chat, Perry McCarting. Not Perry McCarthy was a British racing driver. He was the original Stig on Top Gear. So
the first one,
the one in black. Perry McCarting, supporting Chile. Greatest name I've seen this week so far on the live chat. That was a good race. Let's see if this one is any better. Karla Fade, Debbie Wolfs, the two winners so far. They start first and fifth.
And there is Sarai Garcia together with Debbie Wolfs on a front row on the grid. Ines Kruchkova and Sofia Tsimbal from the second. Green flag is up. We are waiting. It goes down. And the woman category starts racing heat number 3. Debbie Wolfs gets away fast. Sarai Garcia is second behind her. There is a fight between Ines Kruchkova and Sofia Tsimbal for the third.
And I have to say, Margot Biel, Anna Vodecka, both getting plenty of support online. Poland and France are in the house as we look at the field plunging through turn number 6 now. And look at that, that's 2 for 6 wide. Oh dear. And that was Nicole Protivova on the outside. Well, you just can't fit 6 go-karts around one corner. And
even with a 2 meters wide curb on the outside, there was not enough space.
And it wasn't to be. So hopefully Nicole Protivova, who was, she was 7th 2 years ago, 6th last year. And she's going to have to do something special in Saturday's Superheat and then Saturday's final to get up to that position. As we've got Wolfs leading, and is that the number 17 cart of Ines Kruchkova in second?
And where went Sarai Garcia? She was second, and while we were watching 6 kartings going through one corner and not making it, now Sarai Garcia is far away of the top 3.
2, 4, 6, 7th, I think.
Only 7th. So still leading Debbie Wolfs. Now Ines Kruchkova is second. Karla Fade is third. But Sarai Garcia is down in P7. And there goes inside Ines Kruchkova. Not waiting long. Just got up to second. Now goes up to first. And it's Karla Fade fighting with Debbie Wolfs and going in front. 2 corners and 2 places lost for Debbie Wolfs.
Tajnikar 4th, Tsimbal 5th, Špičák in 7th, 8th for Garcia, 7th for Garcia, 8th for Barrett, Anya Barrett. Then it's Anna Vodechka, Melody Roman, followed by Aliona Palchik. Then from Lebanon up into 12th position, a really good start for driver number 24, Celine Tabchouri.
And Debbie Wolves, they're down in third, and now there are only 0.2 of a second between Wolves and Fade in a second place, but this distance is increasing. Can Debbie Wolves get back? Yes, she can, before the last corners of this lap. Debbie Wolves is closing in. There she comes. A last corner going through. There is a fight between Ines Krushkova and Karla Fade for the lead. Krushkova going through the starting straight and up the hill through the first corner. Krushkova leading, Karla Fade second, and again one long straight, and Debbie Wolves is further back from those two at the front.
Well, at the last race, so Frank Vignoli, he took France's 4th win of the day. France and Spain both have 4 race wins today. They're tied. The UK has 3. No other nation has got more than 1. And it looks like, unless Debbie Wolfs, the number 20 of Sofia Tsimbal and Yulia Shipshak can do something about these two drivers. This could be a private battle. Karla Fade needs to try and make a move on the race leader. That will bring the rest into play. They're not that far behind, and I gotta say, moving up into 6th position, the driver with a bright pink back, that's Anya Barrett. And,
And goes inside. Karla Fade, fight for the lead. Number 8 goes through. Karla Fade is leading. Ines Kruchkova now is second, but I wonder why Debbie Wolves is falling back. She's driving, it seems, different than before. She's going wider at the exits of the corners. Does the go-kart not hold up so well as before? We do not know, but she is slower and is falling back to the company she did not want to meet there.
Okay, the fastest lap of the entire week so far, 1 minute 23.258. Sofia Tsimbal has just done a lap of 1 minute 23.463. That's almost the fastest lap of the entire week so far. Debbie Wolf's down to 4th now. Penalty. Number 11, Mariana Borgelina, the German driver, has got a 3-second penalty. And I've got to say, Anya Barrett is on a purple sector lap here. I've been talking about France and Spain having 4 wins each. Britain have got 3 wins. Could Anya Barrett shock the establishment? She's got some work to do. There she is in cart number 18. She's now right on the rear bumper of the Wolf's Shipshack Tsimbal battle.
And Wolves has lost to Spicak, also Barrett coming in and getting better times in the different sectors on the track. There is Debbie Wolves still losing places during this race. Karla Fade is leading, Krushkova second. They are at the front on their own. There is already almost a second between them and the third placed driver. Now, and Debbie Wolves gets back.
Yeah, Debbie Wolves moves back to 3rd, but Karla Fade leads the point standings now. The driver of cart number 8, there she is, by 1 point over Debbie Wolfs. Krouchkova is 3rd in the points, Tsimbal 4th, then Garcia and Shipshak. Garcia has stayed in 7th position. And is that Anya? That is Anya Barrett up into P4.
But Debbie Wolves is picking up speed. She is back into 3rd place and moving away from the Tsimbal, from Barrett and Spicak. And Debbie Wolves got her speed back during those laps in the middle part of the race. Now we have 3 minutes and 1 lap left. It's number 18 of Barrett, just up to P5 behind Tsimbal and Wolves.
Lot of comments coming in now for the young lady from Singapore, Seto Lee Shin. She is in 28th position. And again, first time I think we've had a lady from Singapore qualify for this event. Eugene is now happy on the live chat. We've still got 2.5 minutes to go, plus a lap. It's Farday, Crouchover, Wolves, Barrett, Shipshack, your top 5. Simbal, Vodechka, Garcia, Palchik and Tajnikar, your top 10. Maudrich,
And
Tabshuri.
goes inside Barrett. Debbie Wolves was third and now is fourth. And through goes Barrett with number 18 up to third place already. She came from the end of the first 10.
Can Anya Barrett, pretty in pink, can she head up towards the top 2 and give the 2 French ladies lead the race a run for the money? Oh, there's another move. That's Debbie Wolves going back to the inside and saying, no, come on, work with me. And Barrett goes from 3rd down to 6th. Quickly, Sulce, Terashenko, 13th and 14th. Lariu is 15th. Then Roban, Rocco, Borgelena, Ibanez Gonzalez, the top 20 rounded up by Zetakova. Beal, Bourgeois, Morera, Manciu, Marciano, Hines, Tilkin, Lisin, and Draganic. The remaining runners in that order.
And Anya Barrett is unstoppable. She just lost 3 places because of Debbie Wolf's very, very good tactical overtaking move, taking together with her also Spicak and Simbal. And now Barrett is back in front of Sophia Simbal. There she is, number 18, and Debbie Wolf still chased by Spicak.
I say because Anya Barrett has just received a 3-second penalty for pushing
What a
push
shame. She
to
was
pass.
driving so great.
Well, let's have a look. Now the field's quite spread out. That would still, we'll try and find out. It would still put Barrett in the top 10 at the moment. Farday, Wolves is fighting for the lead in the points. Farday, we're going to play that. Are we going to be playing her song on the podium? Is it going to be Farday? It's Carla Farday on the podium. Once again, she's looking for her second win. And Debbie Wolfs took 2 wins, took 2 pole positions. Carla Farday trying to take 2 wins.
And going 1 minute 23, can women category also get 1 extra lap in this race in a third heat? There are 14 seconds left and they are going through the last corner. They are onto the starting straight. 1 or 2 laps till the end of this race. They are over finish line and we have 1 extra lap to fight. Karla Pade and Ines Krushkova.
Do you know why we've got 1 extra lap? Because Carla Farday has just done the fastest lap of the entire week. Any category. 1 minute 23.117 seconds.
No one has been there.
No one has got... Well, that is incredible. Carla Farday, faster than any of the drivers in the Sprint Cup. Faster than any of the Masters. She... And I say that she is the fastest woman, the fastest driver here out of everybody this week. She's coming through turn number 12 and 13 now. Crouchkova, to her credit, has just done the 2nd fastest lap. No, the 3rd fastest lap. The lap times have come plummeting down. The ladies are faster than the men.
Spicak and Simbal also going to 23.1 seconds. Fantastic speed now on the track. But Carla Fade with this 1 record fast lap does everything to hold her leading position here in this race. We have 1 lap to go and there are 2, almost 3 tenths of a second between Fade and Kruchkova. Kruchkova goes right behind, going uphill, getting very good line at the exit of the first corner. Can she fight for the win still in the last lap of this race? It seems like she got a plan.
Yep. Carla Farday, we've seen it happen the last couple of races. In these last lap duels, the driver that starts the last lap first doesn't necessarily end the lap in first position.
Actually, you need almost 2 seconds to be sure to finish at the front. If you are 2 out at the front, then you need to be in front of the second place driver by a huge amount considering the speed now.
Yes, yes. And so here we go. This is the final couple of corners. What has Ines Crouchkova got for Carla Fade? Has she got anything for her countrywoman? Into turn number 16. She's going to try the crossover, the up and under.
And Krushkova goes wide in a turn number 16, still is behind in a turn number 17. We have one corner till the finish straight. They are out on the straight. Carla Fade is leading and Ines Krushkova takes second. There comes Debbie Wolves fighting for the third place. Wolves in third, Cymbal fourth, Spicak fifth, two Ukrainian girls in the top five. Then Barrett Vodecka, Sarai Garcia, Palchik, Dereshkova, Tahuri and Elizabeth Schulze.
Anya Barrett will finish 10th after her penalty. But still, that is a storming drive. She still gains a place from where she started. Parchik Tereshchenko, Celine Tabchuri from Lebanon, 11th. Suche is 12th for Latvia. Lariu, Tajnika, Rocco and Modric, the top 16. Roban, Bojelena, Ibanez Gonzalez, Zetakova, Margot Beal, Carol Bourgeois, Moreira is 23rd, Jules Moreira. Then it is Australia's Felicia Hines in 24th, Evelina Manchu 25th, Julie Tilkin, Rosanna Marziano, Draganic, and rounding out the field from Singapore, Seto Lee Jin. Well, I'm going to head down to the podium very shortly. The music maestro down at the podium better cue SL2 on a ragga tip up, because that's Carla Fade's theme music, and she's going to be receiving another trophy soon.
Now a short recap of this race. Debbie Wolf started first, got a great getaway from the pole position, but the fight started a little bit later. We saw almost everything during those 10 minutes. There are 6 go-karts side by side, leaving the inside open, and not everyone survived this battle. This is number 6 of Natalia Protivova. She got out on the first lap of the race, but Debbie Wolves was leading not for a long time. Ines Krushkova went through and then started a lot of trouble for Debbie Wolves. She recovered to the third place to the end of the race. There was a great battles during the first 5 spots on the race. Carla Fade took the win, and now she is leading also overall standings by 1 point. This win for Carla Fade was crucial. Absolutely astonishing drive from Anya Barre. She got a 3 seconds penalty, but anyway, that was great. She was driving there on the track. Sarai Garcia takes 6th, Spicak is 5th, Cymbal 4th, Wolves 3rd, Krushkova 2nd, and Fade takes the win. Fade is leading with 90 points after 3 heats in women category. 1 point less for Debbie Wolves. She's 89, 83 for Ines Krushkova. In third place, Sofia Cymbal with 81, 77 for Sarai Garcia in P5 in overall standings, and then is Julia Spicak with 75. Now we are getting ready for a Sprint Cup drivers. 4 groups of Sprint Cup drivers will come on the track, and we are going through the third heats here in Saudi World Series. And the Sprint Cup drivers going to their go-karts, ready to race again. Heat number 3 for Sprint Cup drivers. They are looking at the timing screens in this house where their go-karts are located, watching how fast the woman just went. It's 1:23.117 for Carla Fade. That's the absolutely best lap time in the whole week here in Campillos. KartCenter 1:23.117 for Carla Fade. But now we still have third heat races for Sprint Cup drivers. 4 groups of Sprint Cup drivers will be on the track. Then we will see kids and juniors. Heats are going on today. Tomorrow we will continue with the endurance race. We will start with a 1.5 hours qualifying session and down, and then at noon, at the 12 o'clock, we will start the 12 hours race and finish that on the midnight. So tomorrow it's a resting day for all those drivers we are watching now, and day after tomorrow, Saturday morning, they will be back for super heats and for the finals. So the World Series International Finals going on. We are waiting for the green light at the exit of the pit lane. Safety car is there. We are ready to race again. It's John Del Valle on the pole position. It's Jack Williamson starting second again. And previous time when Jack Williamson was second, it went pretty well for him. On the second row on the grid, it's Manuel Rodrigo and Christian Salvet. Then Andrzej Sleipnik starting fifth, together with Laurent Carrier in a third row. Kirill Martolog seventh with Orion Van Wees in P8. Leimonas Skrodenis is in P9. Fabian Kopp completing top 10 on the grid. This is number 76 of Jack Williamson.
I have to say, this is what you call ring the bell, round 2, between that man there, Jackpot, Jack Williamson, and Jean Del Valle. I spoke with John about what happened when he thought the race was over. He just said, hey, it happens. He went, got to forget about it, my bad, full gas from here on. And I think that's a really nice attitude. Hey, oh, my mistake. Hey, whatever happened,
nothing he can do.
Nothing he can do. Let's just focus and make sure that I can slow down and cruise around the last lap of the next race because I'm so far in front of everybody else. And the Dutch are back on the live chat. Kern BF Motorsports, Holland in the house. The Chileans are back in. Perry McCarting, Carolina Paredes is in, and we have got the Portuguese fans. I know that many of you are very upset today from the passing of Diogo Jota. Let's hope that some of the go-karting can put a smile on your faces.
There is some dispute with the driver
who maybe forgot where he was, what he was doing.
But he knows his number. They get their numbers for the whole week. They are changing the go-karts, but not changing their numbers.
It's incredible. 7 drivers. What number am I again? Or was he late now? What's going on here? There's a dispute. I can't see who that driver is. Let's try and see. There's Martin Roivers. So there's walking to the left. He runs KartCenter Campillos, and I have to say he does a fantastic job. There's a 30-hour endurance race here every October, the first week of October. It's 15 hours one way, 15 hours the next way. They don't stop. The carts keep rolling. They use a cut-through. Pace cart comes out. The sign...
So for the one lap, they go like in an 8 figure?
A figure of, yes. 50 teams. It's sold out every year. The sign of a good circuit, a good team at the circuit, is how the staff react. After 25 hours of racing, the staff were doing the Macarena live on the live chat.
Are
Because
you sure they were the same persons? They were there at the beginning of the race.
They were. Yep, they were. They worked 30 hours straight for the race, plus more. The fact that they were absolutely dead on their feet, and yet and that is a sign of a good team of workers. And the buzz that they have here at KartCenter Campillos, that starts at the top with Martin Roivers and works its way down. Oh, the Philippines. Archie Go is going to be Arthur Jerome Go starts 25th in this race down at the back, but he's got plenty of support from the Philippines. John Agustin Scuderia, Brian Kishimoto, and Jake Ohan is called being delirious. Yeah, they were just delirious. Yes, that is also, I think stupid's another word for it, but no. I've worked as a marshal. I started off working many, many years ago in the mid-1990s at a kart track as a marshal when I was 15 years old. I'm still best friends with a lot of the kids that I worked with back then, because we had such a buzz between us. We kept each other going. That's what the staff here at the KartCenter Campillos do as well. And let's go. How are the carts, by the way? Well, they're sitting there. Now, who is that walking onto there with a seat insert?
And with the helmet off.
Yes. Now,
that's a different race suit than the one who was complaining about something there.
Yes, yeah. And I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Someone
the Sodi kart staff
came to the wrong
maybe they've seen something wrong with their go-kart. Of course, the Sodi kart are the staff that run this event. They are all, you can see them all walking around from the factory. Sodi kart with a brand new factory. Sodi kart, they build and produce more go-karts than any other kart manufacturer in the world. That's between rental karts and obviously race karts.
If you have so much drivers trying to qualify for the finals all over the world, you need a lot of
go-karts. Now, walking down the left-hand side, that's Thomas Paricart, who is sort of running the show. Here we go. We're all going out after a bit of a delay, and let's have a look. That was the driver, the red and white race suit on the inside row. It might have been Mr. Waga or Mr. Wolf. We'll find out. Here's your starting lineup. John Del Valle, Jack Pot Williamson, Manuel Rodrigo and Christian Salvet, André Schleipkins, Laurent Carrier, Kirill Martelog and Horoyan Van Wees. That's your top 8. The top 10, Leomonas Skrodenis and Fabian Kopp.
Then it's Hiromitsu Vaga in P11 and Konstantin Tumensev in P12, Pietro Goncalves, Antoine Bernard, Albert Boss and Kevin Trzebiatowski.
Row number 9 is Kyle Komaran, who came second in the previous race. Taruki Nobe, Sam May, João Pedro Pereira, Marvin Komder, Francois Richard, Daniel Skokan, Franicek Moraviak, and then Arthur Jerome Go from the Philippines. And I'm looking to see, it was about sort of the 5th or 6th cart back on the inside line, so it could have been Varga, Gonsalves or Boss who were having difficulties or having issues, but they're on the circuit now.
We hope they are solved now, and he's ready to race. Now they are going through the formation lap, and everything is okay with the drivers, with the go-karts, with the seats, with everything we saw there.
Someone was saying it was, Horoyan Van Wees was waiting, possibly, according to some of our viewers. Ben Hartman is watching from his hotel here in Spain. He'll be competing in the endurance tomorrow. Can't wait. Bring your suntan lotion, because it be warm.
And it will be warm tomorrow.
Oh,
it will
yes.
be warm, and it will be even hotter day after tomorrow.
It'll be hot when we get here at about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It'll be hot when qualifying begins at about 10 o'clock in the morning. It'll be hot when the race starts at midday. It'll be hot when the race finishes at midnight. It'll be hot when we finally get to bed at about 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, before we come back and do it all again on Saturday for the main events. Here we go. It's Del Valle versus Williamson at the front of the field.
Then on the second row, it's Manuel Rodrigo and Christian Salvet. On the inside is Andres Leipnieks. On the outside, Laurent Carrier. The green flag is up, and we are ready to raise the flag. Goes! And it goes down. We are racing again. A great getaway from Jack Williamson. He's got in front Rodrigo Manuel pushing John Del Valle into the first corner. Del Valle was slow, but now it's Jack Williamson who was left outside in the first corner and now is losing places.
And Williamson, I think, drops to fourth position. There was no way that Rodrigo was not going to push his fellow Spaniards to the front of the field. Oh, and who is that? This kart's running wide, and there's the number 78 in difficulty.
It's Skokan.
That is Daniel Skokan from the Czech Republic. Here we go. We are racing, and it is Del Valle in the race lead. Dust being kicked up. It looks like third position. That's a good start from Christian Salvet from Estonia. As I say that, he gets muscled back to fourth from Horion van Wijs.
Horion van Wijs goes through to the third place. There is Manuel Rodriguez in second, and John Del Valle very slow at the getaway from his starting position, but now still holding the lead, and very, very unfortunate start for Jack Williamson. He was in front going into the first corner. He stayed on the outside, and there was a whole train of drivers going in.
Yeah, in some respects, he's quite lucky to come out in... Where has he dropped to? He's dropped to...
P9.
At least P9. Yeah, down to ninth position behind Kyle Kumaran. Kyle Kumaran looks like he's been shot out of a cannon. He started on the inside of row 9, and he's now in P9. That is a heck of a start. Unfortunately, João Pedro Pereira has got a 5-second penalty already. That drops him to the back, and Philippines, we have... Brian Constante, big shout out to you. Your man Arthur Go is up to 23rd, and yes, you are right, Maz Nawaz. The Indian Express is on a charge again.
And Jack Williamson and Kumaran, they both started from different ends of the starting grid, and now they have met in the middle. And
more penalties. Kirill Martolog, a 3-second penalty for obviously contact. He now slips to 11th. Well, he's 11th place at the moment. How much more time will he lose?
And there is one more penalty, not only for Martelog, but also for Pereira. Now he's down to 25th place. John Del Valle still leading, chased by Horion van Wijs. Van Wijs moved up to second, now has catch Del Valle. They are fighting for the lead, and it's Salvet. It is Estonia now in a third place.
In Estonia, third. Rodrigo from Spain down to fourth. Leipniks is fifth for Latvia. Then it is Varga, Bernard, Williamson, Kumaran, Gonsalves. Your top 10. Now, France have taken a 5-4 lead in terms of race wins today over Spain. John Del Valle could put Spain back on an even keel, especially as Laurent Carrier, the bleeding French driver in this race, but the only French driver in this race, is down in 15th position. However, Horion van Wijs, who's already also won a heat race today, is not going anywhere. And Salvet, the danger man, we haven't really seen Christian Salvet at the front of the field. Now we are. He's a bit of a wild card.
He qualified in P6. Quite a quick qualifying lap for Christian Salvet in qualifying number 3. Now he's 3 places up in top 3 and still following Del Valle and Van Wees. They are together, they are trying to pull away, and it seems like they have some success in that.
I mean, they're certainly pulling away from Manuel Rodrigo in 4th position. The gap between Salvet in 3rd and Rodrigo in 4th is 1.3 seconds. Andres Leipnix has now set the new fastest lap of the race. He's in 5th position, but he's 2.5 seconds behind John Del Valle, the race leader.
And Horion Van Wees, it seems like he's building the gap behind. He's pushing and pushing away John Del Valle. They want to run away. They will decide who will win at the last lap of this race, if they will be able to pull away from Salvet, to pull away from everyone else. Rodrigo, Leipnix, Vaga, Bernard and Kumaran, who is still in front of Jack Williamson.
Let's take a minute to talk about Antoine Bernard, the driver from KCR Karting Quebec. Antoine Bernard having a very strong run. You can see the top 3. There's the next group. That is the chasing pack. So that would be 4th, 5th. That would be Rodrigo, Leipnix, Varga, Bernard.
It's Leipnix leading this group already.
I think Leipnix has got through. I think Leipnix has moved into P4 ahead of Rodrigo. Yes, he has. Varga is next to number 39 kart with the orange crash helmet. That's Kirill Martelog. He's got a penalty, however, so he's actually 12th in the running order, even though he is 7th on the road. And we've just got your eyes are widening, Gert's Team Rots, because we've got a new fastest lap for the week.
It is 1 minute 22.985 seconds. The first lap within 1 minute and 22 seconds. It's John Del Valle, fastest lap ever during whole week here in Saudi World Series.
Well, and it was equalled by Horion Van Wees. The two leaders, identical lap times. That tells me that Van Wees is stronger than Del Valle, because he has pushed Del Valle to that lap time.
But he is he's following. He has less drag from the air, so maybe without Del Valle he would be not able to go so fast. So they are working together. Van Wees is pushing almost at every straight forward Del Valle. Del Valle is running in the front and running pretty fast, and they together are making it even faster.
Yep, and there is, look at that, moving around in the go-kart.
It's Andres Leipnix.
That's number 72, Andres Leipnix. He has got Rodrigo right behind him. Then there's Kirill Martelog. Martelog with his penalty is still 12th. Behind Martelog is Hirofumi Waga in kart number 81. Hiromitsu Waga, I do apologise. Williamson is 8th, Komaran is 9th. They're 5 seconds behind. Gonsalves, Trebiatovsky, then there's Martelog, Boss, Carrier, and Tiomentsev. That's your top 15.
If Van Wees would be sure that he is faster than Del Valle, he would be in front already. He is working together, he is staying second, they are pulling away. They both combined can do those fantastic lap times, and I am afraid alone they are not able to do that, not able to do it so fast. They are pulling away. There is already 1.4 to Salvet in a 3rd place, and there is more than 1 second between Salvet and Leipnix in 4th.
Further down the order, Arthur Go runs 25th, Joao Pereira is 24th. Then it is the second of the two Canadians in this race, the number 60 kart of Francois Richard. He is 23rd. Skrodenis 22nd. Skokan 21st. Kopp has dropped to 20th after starting 10th. Then it's Morawiak, Nobe, Boss, Comder and May rounding out your top 15.
last minute in this race. Last minute plus 1 lap. Del Valle and One Ways leading the race with a 2 seconds gap behind them. That is more than enough to start fighting. When will they do that? 40 seconds left. They are going up through the corner number 12. They have spent already more than half of this lap on the track. 30 seconds till the end of the time of this race. Will they be over the finish line before the clock hits 0?
It looks like they will, considering they've been doing 1 minute 22s, very low minute 123s, but you never know as they cross the line. One thing's for certain, John Del Valle, you'll see him now look. He will look again. He puts his head down, so he's seen the time.
And
he knows.
Goes side by side, One Ways. He's got inside line into the first corner, but he has to stay there because from the wider line to the first corner, Del Valle can get back going uphill. Here he is bumper by bumper. Del Valle taking wider line into this turn, then downhill to the turn number 6, turn number 7. They are still fighting for the win. We still have this and one more lap to go. Did One Ways moved in front too fast?
Well, that's it. Did he go too soon? Because this is not the last lap, as Gert Tiebrotz correctly put it. Albert Boss gets a penalty that will drop the Dutchman down to 17th place overall. As we watch, Del Valle dive to the inside at turn number 12. Elbows out. He's not made the move yet. Here comes Horion van Wijs back up the inside. They both run a little bit wide.
And both are looking back. How far is everyone else? They got a 2 seconds advantage over Salvet in P3, and they know they are fighting and going slower.
Del Valle tries to go round the outside. That's not going to work. He's now going to try the undercuts onto the start-finish straight. Now they will begin their last lap. Horion van Wijs checking left, checking right, trying to cover wherever Del Valle goes. Del Valle to this. What a turn from Jean Del Valle. That's why they call him the GOAT. It didn't quite work, however.
Was that too early going into side by side with One Ways already?
Salvet's there in third. The Estonian has caught them both. Del Valle is like a hunter stalking its prey. And on the menu is Belgium's Horion van Wijs. But watch out for Salvet.
Van Wijs is looking back for a longer time than looking forward. He knows the track, but he wants to know where is everyone behind.
Watch Salvet on the outside now. Salvet gets past Jean Del Valle.
That was a great move from Estonian. He knew they will try to defend their positions and went to the ideal line through that corner. Now is back Horion van Wijs and John Del Valle. Del Valle second, Van Wijs third, and Christian Salvet is right behind. This is the final lap. Those are the final corners. One more time to the outside goes Christian Salvet. He does not keep the side by side with John Del Valle. There is a leading Horion van Wijs. He already knows he has won this heat.
3 wide for third place. Andres Leitnix snatches it on the line from Christian Salvet. And Manuel Rodrigo was also there. Rodrigo, Salvet loses 2 places on the run to the checkered flag. Look at the differences in times as they cross the line. There were less than a second separates the top 5. What a drive for number 100 Antoine Bernard to finish 6th. Hiramatsu Waga 7th. Jackpot Jack Williams 8th in the Indian Express. Kyle Kumaran finishes P9, and Portugal's Pedro Gonçalves rounds out the top 10. Another fantastic heat race, I have to say.
Then Christian Salvet went all in, or actually he went all out, going outside in a corner number 16. That was a brave move, but he did not manage to hold side by side with Del Valle, and then he lost 2 places more.
Do you know what? Christian Salvet would have been more angry and frustrated with himself if he hadn't have done that. You've got to try. Well, 2 wins for Horion van Wijs. A second win in the day for Belgium as well. Look at that as they cross the line, and for third place it was even closer. That was the start, actually, because of course it was close. sorry guys, getting all excited there.
And there began problems for Jack Williamson. A great start for him, and then a mistake, or
it was almost
it wasn't a mistake.
It was almost too good a start for Jack Williamson.
He could be in the lead,
but if he had not been quite so quick and had tucked in behind Rodrigo, he wouldn't have been on the outside. I wonder if Del Valle deliberately didn't get away too quickly because he knew he had his fellow Spaniard, Manuel Rodrigo,
maybe,
right
because
behind
if
him.
there would be a space for Jack Williamson, he would come out of the first corner second.
Yes.
He had to stay outside and lost everything.
I think that was local knowledge trumping youthful exuberance. This was a great battle, between Van Wijs and Del Valle. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? If I'd have said to you at the start of the day that John Del Valle, who is, everyone says, who is the master of Campillos, would go through the entire day without taking a heat win, I wonder what odds I would have got. They were pretty long, but he has not won a race so far today, and he's not going to get a chance, but he's still in with a shout of the win. Leitnix, Van Wijs, we'll check the point standings as we go, but there, and look at this battle of the third as they cross the line, and Leitnix taking third for Latvia, then Rodrigo as we look down the order. But I've got to say the standout performance for me in that race was Antoine Bernard for Canada, and quite right, what a lap that was, what a race that was. So we'll have a couple of moments to catch our breath. We'll be back very shortly. So Gert Stevenrot has gone down to give Horion van Wijs his... Horion van Wijs won that race. In third qualifying yesterday, Horion had his 3 best laps deleted. So he started 8th with his 4th best lap from qualifying, still came through to win. That's very impressive.
That was a great race. Horion van Wijs, ladies and gentlemen, 2 races.
we look at Thomas Condaminas, who is due to start Group B from pole position. He won his first race earlier on. Seems a long time ago in such dramatic fashion. There he is, watching and waiting, and already he has got some support in the online chat, and people enjoying the racing here. It is a very fast track, but overtaking is tricky when everything is so equally matched and the drivers are so good. But we are seeing, and we're seeing plenty of penalties as well, so people aren't just getting away with, being bulldozers, as it were. But this next race will be Heat 3, Condaminas on pole position, Nico Tic on second on the outside of row number 1 from Slovenia. Then it is Hirofumi Yamaguchi. There is the number 13 kart, Nico Tic. Nico, 48th in this event last year. Looking to obviously improve on that and make the main event, the A final. Hirofumi Yamaguchi, Tobias Stuckler on the outside of row number 2. Nathan Saloon starts 5th in kart number 4. Anthony Shavasson is 6th. Then we see Ilyas Miftakudinov. Will Ukraine get their first win of the day? Karmo Kerb in kart number 31. Well, Estonia have just had one good result. Can Karmo Kerb give them a second? Kevin Tovenan is fit on the inside of row number 5. Harry Suoninen from Finland then is in 6th position. Octavian Lungu, we know he's quick. He starts from Moldova on the inside of row 6 alongside runner-up at this event for the last 2 years, Poland's Wiktor Wota. Kevin Hertold is next. Then Chile's Bastian Uloa. Luca Corsi from Italy. Christoph Zauner from Latvia. Then it's Travis Otters from South Africa. Ahmed El Sisi, the Egyptian. This is his worst starting place of the day, but he's very, very quick. Augustine Gamboa from Chile. Dwight Edwards Jr. from the USA. Maxime Leduc from Canada. Alexis Yanin, again very fast, but starting 22nd for France. Clemens Pichler from Austria. Then we have Fawaz Youssef and Samuel Turanek rounding out the field. Fawaz Youssef again getting plenty of support from Kuwait on the live chat. Plenty of support for Ukraine, for Estonia, for Anthony Shavasson, and of course for our pole sitter Thomas Condaminas. What did Horion van Weiss say about that win?
That was great. He did not expect go so well through the first corner, and then it was only the fight for the win. So, and he does not think it was too early to go for the pass on a penultimate like before, because he said he would know that I will do that on the last lap. So
yes,
he went for a penultimate.
Yep, right.
And now we are on the grid and ready to race again. We have already the point standings for the overall after the first race, after the first group in heat number 3. And it's Horion van Weiss and Andrzej Leipnieks leading, tight on points with 79.
Wiktor Wota, the Polish driver, starting on the outside of row number 6. What can last year's runner-up do in this race? The green flag drops. We are off and racing. It's a good start from Nico Tic to the outside. Watch, will Tic get squeezed wide and hung out like Williamson did one race ago? Almost.
A little bit better for Nico Tic in this start. It's Hirofumi Yamaguchi making great start from P3, and here the whole hell got loose.
Yes, indeed. Down there, Octavian Lungu getting barged out of the way there. The back markers heading up towards turn number 8, and the leaders heading down the hill. And the sun now beginning to get a little bit lower in the sky here in Andalusia. Oh, and there was side by side using those
There comes
wrap-round bumpers.
Kerb from Lange Motokeskus.
Yes, there he goes up the inside. And Lungu now trying to fight. Oh, he's obviously a little bit upset, is Octavian Lungu. And
It seems like not a little bit.
if we can see it, then the stewards can see it. Put it that way. And that's the latest around the opening lap. They've been 4-5 wide. Luca Corsi, oh dear. Corsi, where did he start? He started on the 8th row and he's down in almost last place.
And now we are coming to an end of the first lap. Great start from Thomas Condaminas. Hirofumi Yamaguchi was left fighting with Nico Tich for second. They are coming over the finish line. Tich, and there is Shevasson after a great start from P6.
Yes, Mifta Kudinov is up to P4. And at the moment, obviously, Condaminas would take the lead in the point standings. But it's very early stages yet. Is anybody going to beat that 1 minute 22.985 second lap? That's my next question.
I think we will see that already after this lap, because first lap from the standing start, and
Yes.
they got already 128. Before that, we saw 129 for this first lap. From
That's a
start.
very good point, Gertz Team Rots. And it's now, with the sun setting, it has cooled ever so slightly. Don't get me wrong, it's still very hot here, but it is not as... what we
It has cooled till 33 degrees
It's cooled
Celsius.
to 33 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. And I will I'll quickly update you on, as you're watching the early stages. So, for those of you watching around the world, it is, let's have a little look. It
Maybe
is
you can send in comments how many degrees are there,
Yeah.
where are you watching, and maybe someone has got more than us.
Yeah, give it in Celsius, not Fahrenheit. 33 degrees here in Campillos. Again, that's hotter than the Bahamas. It's hotter, yeah. It's the same temperature as in Abu Dhabi at the moment. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's cold in Death Valley.
It's cold. We're hotter than Death Valley, California at the moment. It is only 10 to 9 in the morning, but still, we're hotter than Death Valley, California here in Campillos.
And they're going downhill. Thomas Contaminas, we haven't seen that before, but the leader has pulled away. It's still a short margin, but anyway, he is pulling away from Nico Tich, who is currently second, Antoine Shevasson in third, Ilyas Miftakudinov fourth, and there is Stuckler lonely fifth on the track.
Here we go, and Kuwait. Okay. In Kuwait, it is 47 degrees.
Whoa! Next race at Kuwait, please.
No, thank you.
I would love
Sorry,
to.
Kuwait. If we could do this maybe in November, Kuwait, I would be happy to. But
47.
47 degrees.
Absolutely. That's simply lovely temperature.
That is like sitting in a tumble dryer while it's on. Although in Riga in Latvia, it's not quite as warm, is it, Gertz?
It's 14.
But yeah, it's great. I don't know where we're going next year. We'll find that out on Saturday at the closing ceremony. But
those interested in good weather, we know already for e-sprint where we will go next year.
okay. Well, we'll keep that. Has that been released yet?
Yes, it was released right at the end of this year's finals.
Where are we going for the e-sprint World
to
Series?
the south of Italy.
The south of Italy. Oh, well, that sounds like a wonderful occasion. Where in the south of Italy, do we know?
It's Sicily.
Oh, we're going to Sicily.
We're going
You're going to
onto
Sicily.
the island.
Oh, the old country. Happy days. Here's the battle for the lead. Condaminas and Mifta Kudinov. Mifta Kudinov, who was not wonderfully happy with his penalty in the last race. Well, the best way to avoid getting a penalty is by just leading and clearing off. But obviously, we're making light of the temperature. in a lot of places in Europe, there are red weather warnings. Turkey, France, Italy are just as hot, even hotter here than here in the south coast of Spain. We do hope that everyone is safe and well, and you're looking after your animals, your children, and your elderly.
And don't go far away from your water stash.
Exactly.
And Ilyas Miftakhudinov is second again. Thomas Kondaminas is leading. They are two at the front. It's Shevason third now, and Nikotic down to P4. Kevin Tvana moves up to P5 together with Vota, and Stuckler is down to P7.
Sauna has got a penalty. Christoph Sauna has got a penalty, 3-second penalty, push to pass. That will drop the Latvian driver down to 25th position. We've got Dwight Edwards Jr. up at the 16th place. He's done quite well. And our South African driver, Travis Authors, he is still mired back in 21st. Alexis Yanin's made up a lot of places. He's up to 14th. Ahmed El Sisi has gone from 18th up to 12th.
And Kondamina still leading here.
But is that now? That's the number 38 cart.
Tuvana, Vota,
Kevin
and
Tuvana.
Stuckler fighting for 5th, 6th, and 7. It's Tuvana and Vota just got in front of Stuckler, but Stuckler is still there. He is ready to fight back.
Now, the top four, nose to tail. Kondaminas, Miftakhudinov, Shevason, and Tich are the front four on the track. Miftakhudinov pushing Kondaminas away at the front. He obviously wants to just give himself enough room for one opportunity. He understands, hey, it might be a battle then, but I'd rather defend against three carts at once when I'm leading than be, in the middle of a sandwich. Because, of course, if he goes to try and make an attacking move and there's someone directly behind him, then he is susceptible to losing a place more than gaining a place.
Very different lines from Ilyas Miftakhudinov during 6th, 7th and 8th corners of this track. Did he do that trying to get in front, or did he do that gaining bigger speed to push forward the leading Thomas Kondaminas going downhill to the turn number 9? Now they have got a little bit advantage over Antoine Shevason in P3, so it seems like Miftakhudinov is working together with Kondaminas to get in front and to get the safe space behind to try to get in front.
And down towards turn number 16 we go. And Miftakhudinov has been pushed. I wouldn't be surprised now if these two, Kondaminas and Miftakhudinov, let's look at their lap times this time around, because Miftakhudinov has been pushing. If they're not going to be identical lap times, they're going to be very, very, very close indeed.
Their best lap times are separated only by 1,000th of a second.
Well, there we go. 1 minute 23.067 for Kondaminas, 1 minute 23.068 for Miftakhudinov.
Again, it's only 1,000th of a second, so they are driving lap after lap. Miftakhudinov is still second, Kondaminas leading, then Shevason and Tich fighting for the third and fourth. Tuvana is fifth, followed by Vota and Stuckler, and then there is a gap of 1.7 seconds till Yamaguchi is 8th place. He is followed by Harri Suoninen, then El Sisi up to P10 together with Janan. Lungu in P12, Salaun goes down to P13, and Karmo Kerb got some places and up to P14.
They've woken up in Connecticut. On-track karting Wallingford as giving a lot of support to Dwight Edwards Jr. all of a sudden. So wakey, Team USA. Edwards is up into 15th position. Now, considering that last year Dwight Edwards came here and finished 70th.
Inside, Ilyas Miftakhudinov is not waiting longer. The time is not over. We still have 15 seconds to go. Miftakhudinov, it's 3 laps before the end of the race, and he goes in front. Was that too soon or just on time? We will see during those next 3 laps.
Yep, the clock strikes 0 now. So next time by, they will see the last lap board. This will be a 9-lap race once again. Let's not count out the number 60 cart, Anthony Shevason. Let's not 68 cart. Let's not count out the number 13 cart of Nico Tich. I was just saying that last year Dwight Edwards finished 70th. He's doing a lot better this year. So the go-kart, the on-track karting in Wallingford, obviously their program, their Saudi World Series events are getting to a higher standard. Here comes Condominas. Is he going to have help from his fellow Frenchman?
He's looking back, he's not going inside, he saw what is going on behind, so not to be left out from the train coming behind. So Elias Miftakudinov is still leading and Thomas Condominas still second. Even with the second place in this race, Condominas will lead the overall standings by 2 points, but he's not going to stay second. He goes in, he pushes Miftakudinov wide, and they are losing both. Antoine Chevasson, just like Henry said, don't count him out.
And Chevasson did exactly what Condominas did in race number 1. Watched as the two leaders shoved each other wide and took over the race lead. The only difference is that when that happened with Condominas, it was with about 1/3 of a lap to go. Chevasson's got an entire lap to defend. Miftakudinov has been denied a win. Warning flag going out for number 63. That is Maxime Leduc. That doesn't matter as far as the race lead is concerned. Nico Tick watching this.
And Tich is behind Miftakudinov. Miftakudinov third. It's Condominas in P2. He still will be leader in overall standings, even with the second place, but he has to fight for those points. From the ideal line goes in Antoine Chevasson. He is not trying to defend his position. There comes Nico Tich. He is outside. Miftakudinov follows Condominas. They are going second and third. This is final lap of this race. Quite fast is Antoine Chevasson. He is not trying to defend his position. It is Condominas who is trying to defend, and will he succeed or not? Tich is side by side with Miftakudinov fighting for third, and Elias going back to P4 now, and this Antoine Chevasson. Think about it. Think what you are doing on the track, or Antoine Chevasson will come and take the win.
And I've got to say that in the midst of all that, Nico Tich pulled off a full Slim Shady on Elias Miftakudinov. What do I mean by a full Slim Shady? He went round the outside, round the outside. That is what we call it in the UK. He pulled off a full Slim Shady at
I will
turn
have
16.
to write it down later.
That's a full Slim Shady. And do you know what? That is the 6th win of the day for France. Win number 6 for France. And it's a 1-2 finish. Thomas Condominas takes the lead in the point standings, but only half the Sprint Cup drivers have finished their last heat race. Let's look at that. Teak in third, Miftakudinov in fourth, Victor Wota from 12th on the grid to 5th. Tovenin, Stuckler, Suoninen, Yamaguchi and Ahmed Al-Sisi your top 10.
There is Janan in P11, Salon 12, and Edward Jr. in 13, Lungu 14th, Karmo Kerb comes home in P15, then Herto, Corsi, Gambola, Olo, Leduc in P20, then Pichler, Christopherstown in P22, then Youssef, Otters and Turanek. But in overall standings, it's Thomas Condominas finishing second in this race and taking the lead overall with 81 points. Thomas Condominas is leading overall standings now. We still have 2 groups in the Sprint Cup category. We have only half of the drivers have raced in a third heat today. But anyway, Thomas Condominas is leading with 81 points. Andres Leipniks and Horian Van Wees are second and third, tied on 79 points. It's 75 for Victor Vota. He is 4th overall now. Antoine Chevasson with this win goes in overall standings up to P5.
A very quick reminder to all drivers here. The driver parade is after the last round of heats. Do not leave the circuit. Do not leave the circuit. You must attend the driver's parade. Please do not leave the circuit.
And get ready for parade after the races. Get your best overalls, your best face expression, and get ready for parade. Now some highlights from this race. The fight for the first 4 positions was amazing. It was Antoine Chevasson with a great drive in a penultimate lap, going to the lead and holding this lead, just using the drivers at the front, fighting too aggressively, and it is Antoine Chevasson who took the win by 1.2 seconds, and that brings him up to P5 in overall standings, just behind Vota, Van Wees, Leibniz and Condaminas.
The second, Group B of the Sprint Cup have completed their last heat race. And the score, for those of you keeping count, it's now France 6 wins, Spain 4, because your winner going from third to first in that one, the Flying Frenchman.
So we have 4 races left today in the third heat, 2 sprint groups, and then kids and juniors will come on the track. And reminder for all participants, all drivers from sprint category and also from endurance, get ready for drivers parade after the racing on the track, and please come to drivers parade in your racing overalls. So take your suits and come to the driver's parade right after we will be over with the racing today. That means after 4 races. 2 groups of Sprint Cup drivers, then kids, then juniors, and then the heats will be over. We will start counting points and the drivers will be back on the track at Saturday morning for super heats, and then for the finals, for the main events of this race. At Saturday night we will know who is Saudi World Series champion in 2025. But now the third group of drivers in sprint category are back on track going through formation lap. It's Amael Pereira starting from pole position here. Michal Letovanec is besides him on the front row with a number 56, number 2 for Amael Pereira. On the second row on the grid is Diego Perez Lara with number 105. It's Benedek Kovac starting 4th now with number 24. There on third row is Alexis Melis, number 45, and Hrant Sulahian with number 102. Then fourth row on the grid, starting 7th, Andre Bohm, and starting 8th, Fabio Picado. It's Afonso Zambuyo in a 5th row on the grid, starting 9th, and 10th is Linus Rentmeister. Then 11th on the grid, 11th is Zabo, side by side with Jakov Madiratsa. 7th row, it's Konstantinos Nosopoulos on the inside, Matis Karnezak on the outside. 8th row on the grid, Anthony Malvezin on inside and Yves Normand on outside. 9th row for Malik Firas and Martin Gerard. Then starting 19 is Federico Concina, and 20th on the grid Orpheus Tsompanidis. There goes Alan Begon and Dmitro Demyanenko from row 11. Then Marco Rosic, Andre Tromp, Kai Shedon and Alif Putra. We are back on the grid and ready to race again. The green flag is up. Amael Pereira on the inside, Michal Letovanec on the outside. Green flag is down. Great launch away from the pole position for Amael Pereira. There is a gap between him and Diego Perez Lara. Diego Perez Lara fighting for a second. Coming from outside is Michal Letovanec. There they are going through the first corner and uphill. Great start for Amael Pereira, and there are dust in the air and drivers on and off the track. The leaders are going already through the 6th and 7th corners of this opening lap of this race, and we are again 5 go-karts side by side trying to go through one corner. The highest point of the track is corner number 8, and now we are starting first downhill in this race. Amael Pereira leading the race starting from pole position. It's Group C. It's Group C in a third heat today. It's a last chance for all of those drivers to get their points and qualify in front for the super heats. Now Thomas Candaminas, who we saw in a previous race, is leading by 81 points, and who will be able to score more from this race. There they are, Amael Pereira fighting with Letovanec and Diego Perez Lara. It seems it's Diego Perez Lara now driving second and trying to get in front. The first lap is done. We are going through the starting straight, and the leading pair already has a gap for 0.7 seconds behind them. It's Pereira and Diego Perez Lara leading now. Alexis Melis got great start and now is running third. Michal Letovanec is a fourth. Levente Zabo up to P5. Then Kovac, Zambuyo, Böhm and Nosopoulos in P9. Malvezin completing top 10. Then Picado, Madiratsa, Sulakian and Gerard in P14, followed by Norman, Begon, Rosic, Tromp, Firas and Concina in P20. But it is Amael Pereira leading in front of Diego Perez Lara. Alexis Melis getting through, letting through Michal Letovanec. Letovanec now up to P3. They are fighting and trying to catch those two leaders. Here are with a clear gap behind them, Pereira and Perez Lara fighting for the lead. Amael Pereira leading, Diego Perez Lara second. How long will wait Diego Perez Lara to try to go in front of go-kart number 2? There is a fight for third. It's Melis, Letovanec, Zabo and Kovac.
And the top two had a great start, but Amael Pereira and Diego Perez Lara. Now, of course, already, let's have a little look at my list of winners today. Christian Perez, Diego Perez Lara has won both his races so far. So, Perez Lara going for the undefeated streak. As at the moment, that's going to be so difficult.
But he is in a very, very good position to do that.
He is indeed.
Actually, in the best position, running second now.
Yes, as they go down towards turn number 11, through turn 10 now.
And they have got 1.5 seconds advantage. There was Zabo fighting with Melis and Kovac, and they fall back from both leaders. There were 0.7, and now there is twice as much, 1.5.
So this is Group C for Sprint Cup. Then we've got Group D. Then we've got kids and juniors. So there's 3 races plus this race to go. The score is France 6 wins, Spain 4.
And the score for Diego Perez Lara, even with a finish in a second place, gives already 6 points advantage in overall standings. Diego Perez Lara with those 2 wins and now running second will lead overall standings by 6 points, and in this competition that is huge.
That is very, very important. And of course, don't forget, each of these drivers tomorrow on Saturday will compete in a superheat that has more points available.
But here there are 3 points if Diego Perez Lara moves up, and then there will be 9.
Yes, so there's more points in a heat race available in the superheat, and even more points available in the main event, the final itself. Looking down the order now, Andre Trump up into 20th for Aruba. He missed his opening heat race because he forgot what group, or he got mixed up with what group he was in. So he is looking for Aruba to fight and gain some good ground. Firas from Jordan runs 21st. And at the back of the field, it is Kai Shen from Malaysia running in 25th and last at the moment. But still plenty of time to go in this one. And 4.5 minutes remaining.
And also plenty of time between second and third place drivers. How long Diego Perez Lara will wait there in a second place? They already have more than 2 seconds free air behind them. There is Zabo up in P3, but he is 2.3 seconds behind Pereira and Perez Lara. How long will wait Diego Perez Lara to fight for the win? That will give him extra points. Here is the fight between Kovac and Letovanec. Letovanec just got in front of Melis, but now fighting with Kovac. He is losing ground, and Melis coming back together with Malvesin and Zambuyo. Zambuyo moves up to P6, Melis 2, Kovac still holds P4, but Levente Zabo is third. Can he reduce the gap of 2.3 seconds till the both leaders, which we are watching now here going through turn 12 and up the hill? It's Amael Pereira still leading the race, but Diego Perez Lara is right behind him. There is quite lonely in a P3 now. Levente Zabo, 2.2 seconds till the leaders, and almost a second behind Zabo is Kovac. Kovac still fourth, Alexis Melis up to P5, followed by Malvesin, Zambuyo and Bum, and Nousopoulos is at end of first 10.
So, new fastest lap, Diego Perez Lara, race leader, 1 minute 23.300. That's obviously not as fast as the 122.985 we saw earlier, but it doesn't. Lap times are irrelevant now. Someone asked, do they refuel the karts after every race? No, they don't. We have breaks during each race so that the karts are all refueled together, so that the fuel level in each kart remains, virtually the same. Pereira, Sabo, Melis, Kovac, Malvesin, Afonso, Zambujo, then Letovanic, your top 8. Let's bring in the Boom, Andre Boom and Picardo, your top 10.
And Diego Perez Lara must have been quite sure about his speed. He went in front with 3 minutes to go. That is a lot to race. And now Amael Pereira is right behind him. Can Diego Perez Lara pull away such a move? They had 2.3 seconds behind them. Now they have 3.2 seconds behind them. There was the vast space behind them, and Diego Perez Lara could wait longer and attack on the penultimate or last lap. He did that 3 minutes before the end of the race.
Yeah, so he knows that he feels confident that whatever Amael Pereira throws at him, but he can defend easily. Don't forget, he's done this in 3 different karts. He has been in a different kart every single race. These are the Honda 390
about
engines.
This track.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, these are the Honda GX390 engines. The juniors and the kids are in Honda GX160s.
But can Amael Pereira fight back? There is still half a minute to go, plus 1 lap. We are still racing, still a long way to go. Diego Perez Lara is in front, but he is not pulling away from Amael Pereira. Pereira is still there. They are pulling away from everyone else. There is a lonely Levente Zabo in a 3rd place, and then comes Kovac, Malvesin, and Melis. But there are the leaders. And as we are approaching end of the time of this race, is pulling away Diego Perez Lara. They are 5 seconds before the end of the race, going over the finish line once more. So 2 laps remaining, and Diego Perez Lara has a 0.5 seconds advantage. That is a huge gap, actually.
That is right. You are right. That is a big lead. Down the hill, though, you can see a lot of battling going on further back from 4th place on back. So Levente Sabo is all on his own in 3rd place. He's 4 seconds behind these two. There he is. But then look at the wait for this scrap to come onto your screen. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th place. That is Kovacs, Malvesin, Melis, Letovanek, Zumbojo, Nusapoulis, Bohm, Picardo, Normand, Maderazza, Guerard, Carnejak, and Bigon.
It's a usual scene on the track. Unusual is Zabo running alone.
Alone, yes. 73, that's Anthony Malvesan. He is a driver. I think he has just managed to get to nearly the head of the group. In fact, I think he is now up into 4th position. Yeah, Malvesan. Melis is next. Then it is the number 87 of Afonso Zumbojo.
And what was the fastest lap of this weekend so far?
The fastest lap was 1 minute 22.985. I'm guessing it's not anymore.
And now we have 1 minute 22.872 from Diego Perez Lara. 22.9 is going Amael Pereira. But Diego Perez Lara got in front with 3 minutes to go and is still leading. Final lap of the race, and half a second advantage for Diego Perez Lara in the middle part of the track. Pereira came a little bit closer, but that was only a little bit more than 1/10 of a second. Now they are coming to the 12th corner of this lap. There are still 6 corners to go till the end of this race, but Diego Perez Lara is leading, and if he goes over finish line in a first place in this race, he will have 90 points after a heat, and he will lead by 9 points everyone else.
A perfect score for Diego Perez Lara. This isn't even his home track. He qualified at the Circuito Henacart. Now, I don't know where that is. I'm imagining it's not too far, but Diego Perez Lara, the checkered flag again. What a result. Amael Pereira, second position. Levante Sabo finishing in third place.
And Levante Sabo with this third place gets 6th overall.
So he moves into P6 at the moment. Afonso Zambujo, P5. Malveson, P6. Picardo, P7. Another strong result for the KCR Karting Quebec team. That is the number 8 kart of Yves Normand. He finishes in 8th position. Kovacs is 9th. Nusapoulis, Boom, Carnajak, Begon, Girard, Maderatza, your top 15. Consina was 16th. Sompadidis 17th. Rosic 18th. Andre Trump in the top 20 in 19th. Ahead of Henat Saluhain, then Letovanek, Kai Shen, Rentmeister, Demianenko, and Firas. Already, Diego Perez Lara is pulling out. I mean, he can now afford to maybe finish third, maybe in third, fourth in the superheat, and still be leading coming into the final. What a day! And it's now 5 wins for Spain, 6 wins. Let's have a look at the start, because Perez Lara started third. He made a good start. Oh, there was smoke, and there was all sorts of action. Crazy first lap. This is the top of turn number 6. This is 5. This is turn 6, and that in the Michael Schumacher-esque crash helmet, tribute crash helmet. That was a little bit of old school Michael Schumacher driving there over the curbs and elbowing his way through. I couldn't see who that was. The number 56, Michael Letovanek, getting a 5-second penalty. There's a bit of communication from Levante Sabo, who eventually was able to take third just before. Oh, that's why the number 56 had a penalty. Cutting the corner, clattering into somebody. Yes, there he goes again. But Perez Lara taking the lead, and Amael Pereira just could not do anything about it. Further back in the pack, action aplenty, but up at the front it was a case of follow, chase, push away, pass, pull away, win for Diego Perez Lara. 3 out of 3 for the Circuito Henacart entered driver. And that means that he is guaranteed. Well, is he guaranteed? I believe so. However, in the next heat, we have Christian Perez starting third. Christian Perez has won his first 2 heat races, so he could tie Diego Perez Lara at the top of the point standings. So it is not done and dusted yet by a long shot. However, if you're in anything, if you're not Perez Lara or Perez, then you are in trouble at the moment in the Sprint Cup class. We'll be back very shortly with the last Sprint Cup race of the day. So the pace cart heads out, and we are about to get underway with the last Sprint Cup race of the day. It's not the last race of the day. We've still got 2 more heats. We've got kids and juniors to go. Can I just remind everybody at the circuit, do not leave the circuit. You must stay for the drivers' parade. You must stay for the drivers' parade. Here we go then. It is Eduardo Bernal Rodriguez and Alan Seagal on row number 1. Christian Perez going for 3 wins, as well as his countryman Diego Perez Lara. He goes from the inside of row number 2 alongside Grigory Melnikov.
So far it's good. He is on the same starting spot as Diego Perez Lara.
But he will not be in the same go-kart. Let's make that very, very clear.
Go-karts are randomly allocated each time drivers are going on the track. So there is almost no possibility you will get the same go-kart as before.
Yes, Nick Kosasina and Remy Loth on row 3. Marcos Cernuda and Karol Kwidzinski are next up. Tommaso Pozzetti, David Zalmans. Bimo Aji in kart 104, a driver from Indonesia. Where's his hometown again? In Indonesia. In the live chat, I can see plenty of supporters for Indonesia. He starts 6th alongside Greece's Adam Ben-Haj. Now, I know Adam missed his first race of the day. His father isn't well back in the hotel. He's resting up. I hope you're watching, Mr. Ben-Haj. Adam has been a bit concerned, has been very worried. We've tried to say, look, you know, the whole Sony Kart team are here for him and for you. I hope you're resting up. Get well soon. Now Adam is ready to go and race. He'll start from the outside of row number 6. Matthias Alfaro, Francesco Torboli, Stilian Ralchev from Bulgaria, Nodar Kovzutse from Georgia, and still don't know where what's the hometown of Bimo Aji? It was something very good. Umbum or something like that. We'll see. But he's certainly got the most support here. Croatia represented a little bit further down the field. Stepan Jankovic alongside Aurelian Ferry from Denmark, Quentin Janin, Anthony Brakal, Simon Dalsicki, Sam Hines from Australia. A green flag goes out and we're off and racing.
And we are racing again. Eduardo Bernal Rodriguez gets great getaway. He is in front, but there from behind comes Christian Perez, Grigory Melnikov. They are fighting for a second spot now, going through the 3rd corner uphill. Eduardo Bernal Rodriguez taking the lead, but Alan Seagal, Christian Perez, Grigory Melnikov fighting for 2nd.
Jan Ting Ma and Franco Kekes round out the field. Oh, and look at that. And the number 30 karts, that was Stilian Ralchev. Oh, it's all gone wrong for the Bulgarian. He gets pushed out of the way. Singapore, sorry. I'm getting my Indonesians and my Singapore flags mixed up as well. But there's dust being kicked up. What's going on at the front of the field?
At the front of the field we have the same scenario, and the Christian Perez goes into the front right on the first lap of the race. Eduardo Bernal Rodriguez has left out and is down to P5 already, and Christian Perez is leading the race. Alan Seagal is 2nd behind him, and
not for long. Seagal back the lead, and they're getting Perez out of the way. That's the who is that? That's the 75 Seagal, and I think that was Nick Kosasina.
And not out of the way is Perez. He is back in the 2nd place. Kosasina has left out in between the penultimate and last corner of this lap, and Christian Perez went into the lead, then lost it, and he was very, very lucky to not go behind P5, but maintain P3 and then go in front of Kosasina.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say that Jianting Ma was from Singapore, not Indonesia. I do apologise to the crowd watching at Singapore. As some finger pointing there. That is Tommaso Pozzetti, I think trying to communicate with Simon Dalsicki in front of him to say, let's go.
Now it's Alan Seagal and Christian Perez fighting for the lead. Perez got back in a second. Remy Loth now in third. Bernal Rodriguez in P4. Cernuda up to P5. And Košenina now is only sixth after a short fight with Christian Perez.
Yes, he was aggressive as Nick Košesina, but the double former junior cup champion then was on the receiving end. He was aggressive, and then he was he gave the aggression, then he received the aggression, and it cost him several positions.
And what does think Christian Perez now? He is back into the second position. He in a first lap went for the lead, and that did not work out very good. Now he is well back in the second place. He is pushing forward Alan Seagal. There are two of them with a very, very slight advantage over third placed Remy Loth.
Unfortunately, Bimo Agi's 11th place start, he was caught up in that first lap, and he has dropped to 23rd. So Indonesia lets out a collective sigh of disappointment. Can he move back up the order? Ralchev is also back into the top 20. Košesina is down to 18th. It's all gone wrong for Košesina. It's also gone wrong for our pole sitter, who's had a 3-second penalty. Bernal Rodriguez down to 13th. Košesina also with a penalty. He's down to 19th.
And still leading is Alan Seagal, and pushing him forward is Christian Perez. Did he thought that was a mistake going in the first position already on the first lap? He almost lost a lot of places and is lucky to be back in a second. Now, will he try to go in the front again, or will he try to do the usual scenario, push away the leader, push away from everyone else behind, and then do his job at the end of the race?
Well, there's the pushing, slipstreaming with the leader, Seagal, but of course you've got Remy Loth. Remy Loth is loitering behind them. Has Remy won a race today? He has not.
And Remy Loth goes side by side. He stays outside from Alan Seagal. It's Christian Perez from this fight coming out as the leader of the race again. Second time in this race, Christian Perez is leading Remy Loth up to second place, and now Alan Seagal is left third.
And just behind the top three, the next driver in line, watch out that red race suit, Adam Ben-Haj. I hope you're watching, Mr. Ben-Haj, back in your hotel, and I hope that Adam's driving is giving you, making you feel a little bit better, because he is flying towards the front ahead of Cernuda. Davis Zalmans is 6th, Kwidzinski is 7th, Pezzetti 8th, Kekes 9th, then it's Dolzicki and Kovzitsi. Quintin Yanin, Bernal Rodriguez with his penalty is still 13th. Nick Košesina with his penalty, he's moved up to 14th place now.
And what happened to Perez? He went very, very wide in turn number 16. Here they are, all three. Perez still leading. There is Remy Loth second and Alan Seagal third. And now they are pulling away from everyone else. They got Remy Loth between them, and now they are pulling away.
Well, Adam Ben-Haj is all on his own in 4th place. Well, he's got a few carts not too far behind him. Ben-Haj will be hoping that they start battling a little bit earlier. Perez Lara and Perez. So Diego Perez Lara and Christian Perez currently tied on 90 points apiece. 9 points ahead of everybody else.
Now leading is Christian Perez. Davis Zalmans moves up to P6 behind Cernuda and Ben-Haj. Ben-Haj is in P4 and he is closing in. Remy Loth now is third. There was one fight more between top three drivers. Loth now is third. Seagal up to second, and that cost them those tenths of a second. Was Ben-Haj behind them. Now Ben-Haj has almost joined those three at the front.
Kart skins, first and third. They'll say that it gives you better aerodynamics as a driver.
And the better feeling when outside is 33 degrees.
Yeah, you know what? And they may not be wrong. And look at him looking over his shoulder.
Ben Hadj is going inside, and Remy Loos closes the door well before first corner of this lap. Ben Hadj is there, and also joined by Cernuda in P4. And
yep, Cernuda
goes down.
Cernuda, the driver with a bright turquoise, it's like Bahamas colours almost, bright blue. It's the colours of the region from Spain, the north region of Spain that he is from, as he is finally showing some real good pace here. 5 at the front, Spain, France, Greece, Spain and Latvia.
Now Salmans has just joined the top 5 drivers.
Here comes Ben Hadj. Sorry, Gertz. Ben Hadj sticks it to the inside, and Adam Ben Hadj.
And they went wide up. Salmans goes through. There is a fight for a P3 now. No, Salmans is behind. He went too wide too in this corner number 12. That is crucial corner before second uphill in this race. Salmans is 3 places down now.
And don't count out Tommaso Pozzetti. Pozzetti in cart number 19. There he is in the white and luminous yellow race suits of the. He has caught this lead group as well. He's got momentum. Now the top 3 break away again. This time they broke it away with 90 seconds to go. The number 79 cart, that's Nick Cosacina. He has a penalty, and Seagal's also been given a penalty.
So 3 seconds for Seagal.
The drivers in second and third have both been given a penalty. Perez has just won this race, whether he crosses the line first or not.
But he does not know it yet. He does not know about penalties, as the drivers behind him, they are fighting on the track for each inch of this tarmac.
And there was a slower driver there coming back onto the circuit. I don't know what the situation was there. This does mean that it is Remy Loth is running second, even though he is 4th on the road. Ben Hadj is 3rd. Pozzetti is 4th. Cernuda is 5th. Salmans is 6th. Seagal 7th with his penalty. Cosacina 8th with his penalty.
And we have almost 10 fastest drivers within 3 seconds, so those 3-second penalties are quite harsh in these circumstances.
We have
black flag for Kovziridze. Kovziridze gets black flag from P13.
Now, mate, why was it? Was he the driver going slowly, cruising back to the pits after the black flag, I wonder? He stayed out of the way of the leader.
Yes, he's going very slowly. He's 10 seconds slower than everyone else in the middle sector, but he just set the fastest time in the first. Maybe that was because he went off the track.
He missed half the track, that's why. A 17-second first sector.
27 for everyone else.
Yes,
so very great time for Kovziridze.
Yeah, that's why he's been black flagged and is out of the race. So this is the battle for second position at the moment. However, Cosacina and Seagal are 2 seconds in front of this group. If they pull away by 1 more second over the next lap and a half, they finish second and third. Well, Perez, I mean...
And he's showing to Perez, move, go faster.
Yes.
Maybe he knows about those 3 seconds. There is already 3.09 for Alan Seagal, who is classified second, but is driving on the track only 4th.
Down the main straight, Perez looks over his shoulder. We begin the final lap. Seagal, Cosacina pushing him along. At the moment,
have enough at the moment. They have enough. They, even with a 3 seconds penalty, now are classified there.
They are, but only by 0.4 of a second over Loth, Ben Hadj, Cernuda, Salmans. The more they slow each other down, will this cost Will this last lap cost Segal and Cosacina second and third?
And not fighting with Perez. It seems like they know about penalty. They would try to overtake Perez. They would try to go in front. If not this penalty of 3 seconds, which as soon as they start fighting, they will lose. Not seconds, even tenths of a second are crucial now.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, it looks as though maybe they probably realise, oh, okay, they've got their phone. I wonder if they've got timing and scoring on his phone as Segal. I've never seen that before.
Do they have a time to look at the phone and the timing now?
I think they might do. If they see their numbers, that's why Segal is not even trying. I wonder if he's got his phone on the top of his steering wheel there, strapped down. It's got live timing and scoring. He knows he's got a penalty. Has that last lap given them second and third place? Cosacina, there is fourth place across the line. And was Sanuda... Remy Loth was fourth. Yes, they were able to hang on to second and third. If that's the case, and they've got their phones on their steering wheel and they can look at live timing and scoring, that's a genius move.
And get a time to look at the screen, calculate all that, and make the right decisions during those 9 laps intense fighting on the track. Christian Perez takes the win, takes 30 points for this heat and takes 90 overall, and they are tied. Both Perez's now are at the front overall.
The rest of the results, behind Remy Loth in 4th place, David Zalman's 5th, Franco Quiquez, a great result for Franco Quiquez. He started 24th. Quiquez, 24th to 6th for Croatia. Ben Haj, 7th for Greece. He'll be allowed not to come to the drivers' parade if his father is unwell. Everybody else must come to the drivers' parade 8 o'clock this evening at the track in full race suits. That is from the organisers. Every driver at the track tonight in full race suits, 8 o'clock for the driver parades. 2 drivers from Croatia in the top 8. The number 64 of Stepan Jankovic is in 8th position. Quentin Yanin and then Brakal round out your top 10. Bimo Aji recovered from 22nd to 11th. Great result for Bimo Aji from Indonesia.
And it could not get worse as for our pole sitter Eduardo Bernal Rodriguez. He is 22nd starting from pole.
And we got, obviously, there are lots of drivers that race against these competitors. Yeah, and you can see he's got his phone on his steering wheel as Alan Segal, and FCB Noah says that he always puts his phone on his steering wheel to look at live timing and his own lap times. He knows that because he's raced with him. Smart driving. Now, what happened to Marcos Cernuda at the end? He didn't finish the last lap. Interesting. Well, it's now 6 wins each for Spain and France as we conclude the Sprint Cup heat races. Kids and juniors still to go. No one else... France or Spain will end today as the most successful nation in terms of race win, but we've got a Greek lady starting the next race from pole position. Can't wait for that.
Henry goes for prize giving ceremony for our winner. 3 races out of 3 for Christian Perez, the same as Diego Perez Lara. And all drivers, all participants, please get ready for drivers parade and presentation at 8 o'clock. Everyone please come in full racing overalls in your driving suits. 8 o'clock we will start drivers presentation and opening ceremony.
winning his third and final heat race to go joint top of the point standings. It's Christian Perez.
Two more races left today in a third heat. Kids are already in their go-karts and ready to race. One more race for junior category drivers after that. And at 8 o'clock, every driver, please gather for the opening ceremony for the drivers' parade in your racing suits and your racing overalls. Get ready for opening ceremony. That will start right after third heat. We will start opening ceremony at 8 o'clock. Now, kids category is ready to go on track. Angeliki Nosopoulou is on pole position in this race with the number 14 on her go-kart. It's Sam Nygren with go-kart number 3 going on track, starting from the front row on the grid. From second row, it's Jokubas Kaminskas and Enzo Biselia. Then Kotaro Asanuma starting fifth, and Kazuki Yamada from sixth. It's Rodrigo Kakers on the fourth row on the grid together with Jude Padfoot. Jude Padfoot already took the second place in a first heat. He was second in a second heat. Can he go one step up and take a win, starting from the eighth position on the grid? It's a fifth row for Esteban Freihuber and Ryusei Takagi, sixth row for Tamim Firas and Marcel Krishans. Then on row number 7, Theo John Noland and Max Piatek. Max Piatek is starting from 15th on the grid. He was third in a second heat, but behind him on the outside line is Luka Bogosavljevic, who took the win in the first heat but was far behind in a second. There is Denis Mares on the inside of the 8th row on the grid, and the 9th row it's P17 for Juraj Mikoš and P18 for Matisse Aeta Rague Cheng, who was third in the first heat today. And there behind him is Livio Innocenti, who took the win in the second heat but now is down on P20 on the grid. Besides him is Mark Perkes in P19, row 11 for Alexander Drzewiecki and Paul Ledma, row number 12 for Franjo Toncic and Evan Hanasvara, row number 13 for Daniel Jakob and Ricky Weinstein, 14th row on the grid, Nolan Hebette and Javier Brusso and Enzo Felix starting last. We are going through formation lap and back on the starting grid. It's a kids category in juniors class. Two more races left in heats number 3 today here at Saudi World Series Finals. after juniors heat, we will start preparing for drivers parade. It will start at 8 o'clock. So Sam Nygren and Nusopoulou on the front row of the grid. Angeliki is on the inside, Sam on the outside. There is Jokubas Kaminskas and Enzo Biselia, but our previous heats winners are far, far behind. The last rows coming to the grid. Also, the winners of the previous races are far behind in 14th, 16th, 18th, and 20th positions on the grid now. The green flag goes down. It's Angeliki Nusopoulou taking the lead. Sam Nygren doing everything to get into one file. He gets into the 4th place. Now there is Enzo Biselia. He stays outside during first corner, but still manages P7, now fighting for P8. But Angeliki Nusopoulou does everything perfect there at the front and taking advantage of her starting from pole. And Angeliki is leading the way now through the 6th and 7th corners already. Those are the crucial corners during the first lap. We have seen many crashes here, but now Angeliki is leading. Sam Nygren lost a few places at the start. Then Kaminskas and Biseglia fighting further back. It is the first lap of the race, the last heat for kids category. Angeliki Nusopoulou stays outside and has lost first, has lost second. There is a fight between 11th and 12th corners on the track. This short track in the middle part, this short straight in the middle part of the track is a very, very great way to overtake. Biseglia now is in front of our pole sitter Angeliki Nusopoulou. The Greek girl now has fallen back to the 4th place already, and 3 drivers in front are in Biseglia, Kaminskas, and we are at the end of the first lap in a kids category. Nusopoulou took the great start, but then lost positions after the 11th corner. The exit of that is crucial in this inside straight. We are over the finish line, and the first lap completed in this race. It's Asanuma leading. It's number 29 at the front now. Kotaro Asanuma started from P5 and now is leading this race, followed by Kaminskas, Biseglia. Nusopoulou is down to P4 and Jude Poddefoot is only 5th.
Ricky One Time is up into P24 from 26th on the grid. Our pole sitter, where is Angeliki Nusopoulou? The answer is she is in P4, and there is Angeliki. She's lost another place there as she goes into turn number 12. We're on lap number 2 now, and Japan looking for their second race or the day.
Angeliki Nusopoulou, it seems like she had to find something in this corner number 11. She is losing their places. She lost first 3 places in the first lap, next 3 or 4 places in the next lap. There is something wrong with the corner number 10 or corner number 11 for Angeliki Nusopoulou.
Down towards turn number 15, breaking away at the front. Asanuma, Kaminskas and Biseglia. The top 3, Nusopoulou, Angeliki, there she is in the blue and white there. She's getting roughed up a little bit. Obviously maybe not happy with the car. A little bit of frustration building. Oh, there's a lot of frustration there. And she's lost a ton of positions. I know her mum and dad are watching from the top of the VIP room. But still for Angeliki, I was speaking to her father. When she came to Paris, first of all, she was last. When in Slovakia, she was 20th. Last year, she was running in the top 10.
This year, she got pole position.
Yes, so she's progressing a lot. But up at the front, there are your 2 leaders. Asanuma and Kaminskas.
Kotaro Asanuma leading the race after taking the lead in the first lap. It's Jokubas Kaminskas following closely. Jokubas Kaminskas and Kotaro Asanuma pulling away. There is 0.8 seconds already in front of Enzo Biseglia. Biseglia running third in front of Jude Paddefoot. Jude Paddefoot just got the P4. He is moving up the ranks. Jude Paddefoot started 8th, was 5th after the first lap, now is up to P4. Jude Paddefoot took the second places in both previous heats, and now can he get this one more step up?
You know, you could lead the points, you could win this entire event without winning a race in total. You've got to be consistent. You've got to stay out of trouble. At the moment, Paddefoot has a 9-point lead over Marcel Piatek.
Even in fourth place, he has
Max
9-point lead over Max Piatek.
Yeah, so there he is. There is Biseglia going around. There is Paddefoot. And then you have the pink crash helmet of Sam Nygren being chased by driver number 26, Kazuki Yamada.
Yamada goes wider through the corner number 5, but that's not enough to overtake in front. Sam Nygren, they are fighting for P5. Jude Paddefoot is through and now is chasing top 3 drivers. Jude Paddefoot is 4 seconds behind leader and 1.8 behind Enzo Biseglia in P3.
Now look at this. This is the good battle. This is fourth. You're looking at third, fourth, and fifth. That's Sam Nygren, in 5th position. In fact, has Sam Nygren just passed Jude Paddefoot? Oh no, sorry, that's ahead of, he's just chasing Paddefoot. There's Nygren with number 26 Yamada right behind him. Piatek is chasing, so is Rodrigo Kekas, so is Juraj Mikosh, and so is our race winner, Luka Bogoslavjevic.
And is looking back over his shoulder, Jude Paddefoot, but he is pulling away and closing the gap to the third place, Enzo Biseglia. There were 1.8, there now is 1.6, no, closer to 1.7, but anyway, Jude Paddefoot is faster than Enzo Biseglia. Can he catch top 3 drivers? Biseglia is losing already 3 seconds to Kaminskas and Asanuma, so Biseglia is pretty much all Paddefoot can get this race.
And if it goes from bad to worse for Agaliki Nusapulu, she's dropped to 22nd place from pole position. You have to imagine that her head's gone a little bit. She's frustrated.
It's still better than in a previous race.
Yeah, but you can imagine
for Bernal Rodriguez.
You can imagine just how disappointed and frustrated she is. When she got pole yesterday, I gave her the trophy, and the smile just went from ear to ear. She just didn't stop smiling. I've never happiest driver I've interviewed this weekend.
She is progressing. She will be progressing.
She will be. Yes, she will.
Hear about her still.
Yes, she will. Now, Lithuania haven't had a pole position or a race win this year. Can Jokubas Kaminskas, the driver from the Baku Kartodromas in Monday, Baku, is it Baku? Baku Kartodromas in Monday.
No, it's Bachunu.
Bachunu Kartodromo.
Baku is in Azerbaijan. It's
sorry, I was getting
it's a few thousand kilometers, but
just a couple of thousand. No, nothing big.
It's Bachunu.
Bachunu. Well, Bachunu. Hope you're watching, because Kaminskas is hoping to have a Bachunu on the back bumper of Asanuma's go-kart coming around turn number 5 down towards turn 6 and through turn 7. They are 5 seconds in front of Biseglia and Paddefoot. Then, with the fastest lap of the race, Yamada's got past Nygren for 5th.
And here comes Kotaro Asanuma and Jokubas Kaminskas fighting for the lead. And it is Jude Padderfoot closing on Enzo Biseglia. There were 1.8, then there were 1.6, now there are 0.8 seconds. Jude Padderfoot is losing to Enzo Biseglia. He is closing, and third place is pretty much all that Jude Padderfoot can still fight in this race. There are also, as Henry said, almost 5 seconds advantage for Asanuma and Kaminskas. Padderfoot is catching Biseglia and getting him. He will get more points and will be even 10 points in front of everyone in overall ratings.
Through turn number 16 go the leaders, and look at that clear track. We're still waiting for theirs third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh all in a row. All the way back to actually Rodrigo Caicas in 8th position. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 carts battling for third place, currently being led by the Belgian driver. Or how much longer? There goes Jude Padderfoot.
And here is the fight for the lead. It's Kotaro Asanuma, Jokubas Kaminskas. We are running out of the time. The clock hits 0 and we have this and one more lap to go. There is a fight between Kotaro Asanuma and Jokubas Kaminskas. Still no overtaking moves for Kaminskas.
Oh, Biseglia in the number 6 cart has lost a couple of positions. He's been passed by Yamada, by Padderfoot, and I think he's been passed by Nygren as well.
It's Padderfoot who brought troubles for Biseglia.
Yep, indeed, they started battling, and that has Max Piatek currently is second in points with 76 points. Yamada 72 is third. Nygren will be fourth. Kaminskas will be fifth. Kaminskas though will gain a couple of points and gain a couple of places if he can find a way past our leader, driver number 29, Kotaro Asanuma.
And we have two leading drivers side by side, but to outside goes Jokubas Kaminskas and still maintains his lead. Kotaro Asanuma, they are fighting one more lap to go through the last corner. Onto the starting straight is Jokubas Kaminskas trying to overtake bumper to bumper through the start and approaching the first corner from the middle of the track. They are going into the first corner. Also, Jokubas Kaminskas did not went away to get a wider line into the first corner. They are bumper to bumper going up, and here up the hill through the corner number 5. Kaminskas is still second. Jude Padderfoot is up to third, but 8 seconds behind. There is no one who can catch in this race Jude Padderfoot, but it is possible for Max Piatek. He is second now overall, and he is 6th on the track.
Yeah, Piatek, even though Padderfoot has made a move, he still only leads the points by 9 points, because as he gained a position, so did Max Piatek. Piatek really needs to get past Yamada and Nygren on this lap to potentially keep Padderfoot within arm's distance in the point standings. But so far it's been lights to flag virtually. Here comes the move though. He left the door open. I can't believe Asanuma left the door on the last lap of turn number 12 and 13 wide open.
He
the
crosses
crossover.
the line. He goes inside. To the outside pushes Jokubas Kaminskas. Kaminskas get inside line in the penultimate corner of this race. Once more, Kotaro Asanuma goes wide, and the fight continues in the last inches of this race. Jokubas Kaminskas, Kotaro Asanuma, and it is Lithuanian over the finish line in a first place.
What a great final. Yet another side-by-side drag race to the line, and I think behind them we had a change as well. I think that we had Piatek grabs third place. Max Piatek, what a last lap for Piatek. Padderfoot down to 6th place. Max Piatek, he went from a 9-point disadvantage in the standings to a 3-point disadvantage in one lap. I tell you what, that last lap, remember this, ladies and gentlemen, the last lap of that race for Max Piatek from Poland could prove to be very, very important indeed.
Maybe the most important of whole week. So what went wrong for Jude Paddefoot? He lost 3 places in the last race. He was faster than anyone behind him, and now on the last lap he got in front of Biseglia, and now they are back in 6th and 7th positions. Jude Paddefoot is still leading overall rankings with 3 points advantage over Max Piatek. Piatek finished 3rd, and they are 10 points ahead of Sam Nygren and Yamada. 1 point less for Kaminskas and 2 points for Mikosh.
In the race itself, behind Kaminskas and Asunuma and Piatek, Nygren 4th, Yamada 5th, Paddefoot 6th, Bishalia 7th, Theo Noland up into 8th place, Juraj Mikosh 9th, Rodrigo Cake is the only driver to receive a penalty in that race. Finish is in 10th position. Then it is Luka Bogoslevich, and we're looking at some of the highlights. Sadly, Agaliki Nusapulu dropped to 25th position. Freihuber Innocenti, the Heat 2 winner, was 13th. Krikshan's was 14th. Jakob, Takagi, Mares, Toncic, Firas, Brousseau, Rague Sheng, Danhaswara, Ricky one time in 23rd, followed by Berses, then Nusapulu, Alexander, and Habet, with Enzo Felix and Paul Liedma rounding out the finish. There's a look at the highlights there, and I gotta say, I know what was going through Asunuma's mind, to try the crossover, but you just don't give up the lead of a race. But these are the kids, he'll learn, he will learn. And Lithuania become the 10th different nation to win a race today. And it means that we go into the very last heat race of today, which will be Heat 3 for juniors, with Spain and France tied at 6 wins apiece. We'll get to, who could possibly, and hey, there are lots of people there. So Mark Beltran starts 2nd for Spain in this next race, and Vladimir Bruno starts 4th for France in this next race. This is going to be a tasty one. Please, once again, all drivers, do not leave the circuit. The drivers' parade at 8 o'clock tonight at the circuit. Please be in your race suits. You will be on the stage with your flags. It's very important that we have drivers here from every nation. We have got 53 of them. And if Ian Anderson's translator is here as well, please could we relay the message to Ian Anderson, who of course is profoundly deaf, to stay and be part of the presentation. We want to see him carry the Faroe Islands flag onto the stage. One race to go. As we're getting underway, we can see one of the drivers heading to the circuit now is Christopher Giustizieri. Christopher Giustizieri. Mr. Giustizieri, I would have a look in your pocket and see if you have a small piece of plastic card not there anymore. Luckily, it's been handed into the Sodi Kart tent before myself, Kurt Teamrots, and the lads at Apex Timing have a little spending spree on Amazon. So, Mr. Giustizieri, please go to the Sodi Kart tent to retrieve your credit card. Giuliano, we'll have an ice cream for our service to not make thieving your money. Okay. Tomorrow, the 12-hour endurance starts at midday local time, and it runs, obviously being 12 hours, it runs until midnight. But we've got one heat race to go today. It's the last race for juniors. William van Leersum will lead the field to the line. Mark Beltran will start second. Theo Di Vincenzo and Vladimir Bruno, third and fourth. Then Michelle Walters, Sofia Gaborikova, Joao Lucas Santos and Peter Fabry, Mario Matias and Ivan Kopchev. There's William van Leersum in his Mumbai Falcons race suit. That's the team he drives for in two-stroke Rotax racing. Kuba Dwiernicki, Emil Forker, Lina Pichler, Taiga Nakahara, Christopher Giustizieri, whose dad is now running towards the Sodi Kart tent to retrieve his credit card that he left somewhere. Igor Polak, Mario Sarapulo, Aaron Gurgeli, Putzizieri, then Maxim Dremin, Maximilian Sovic, Louis Hutter, Kristaps Tennis, Ottilia Grandberg, Roman Curtis starts 24th. He has won both races so far. Jules Girard, Sebastian Sasek, Timothy Kushniruk, Elias Agato and Oscar Vedlin.
It means something went terribly wrong in a Q3 yesterday for Roman Curtis.
What's the point situation as things stand, Gertz?
The Roman Curtis is our leader in junior heat results. He has 62 points. It's 6 points more than Hutter and 10 points more than Dvernitsky. Matthias is fourth with 51, 46 for Polak, and Sarapulov is 45. But Roman Curtis now is starting from 24 on the grid. Also, Louis Hutter, who is second in the standings, is just in front in 21st position on the grid. Louis Hutter was third in a previous heat. Now he's starting 21st.
And Kuba Dwernicki, who is third in points, is starting 11th. Matthias, let's have a look, who's fourth. Mario Matthias is starting 9th. Igor Polak, who is next in the points, in 5th place, is starting 16th. And Mr. Sarapulo, Mario Sarapulo, who is 6th in points, is starting 17th. This class is about to be blown wide open, I feel.
There are different leaders in previous races, and we have Roman Curtis, the only one who has been in top 3 in previous races. Everyone else, there are different drivers. Now Michael Walters is the best starting second place owner, best starting podium owner.
So he's finished second earlier on.
Yes.
And
he's starting 5th.
Yeah,
but he is not in top 6 in overall rankings, so first race went.
And William van Leersum had a good run in the first race as well, I seem to recall, but was then back in 20th in the last race. They're looking at each other at the front row. They're trying to look at that. That's tactics.
Let's run. Don't push. Let's run.
Yes, and William van Leersum not really responding to Mark Beltran's request by the looks of it.
And the green flag is up, it goes down, and we are racing again. A junior category, last race today in heats. It's William van Leersen pulling away, and it goes well for Mark Beltran. It seems like this is the thing he wanted to tell William van Leersen. Go away, I can get second.
And I've got to say, look at that. 2, 4, 5 drivers, 6 drivers, all single file through turn number 1. That's the tidiest we've seen all day. Now coming into turn number 5, they go a little bit crazy. And who was that? I think that might have been in the red race suit, number 20 possibly, Joao Santos, making an aggressive move. 4 wide at the back of the field. Of course they are.
And the first lap of race has started. William van Leersen is leading with his number 24 on his go-kart. Great start for William van Leersen, and enough gap behind him right on from the grid for Mark Beltran to take second. Can they run away from everyone else and work out between them who will take the win?
We've got lots of people supporting Belgium, Teo Betenzo, lots of people supporting the Netherlands, Michel Walters. Portugal have got plenty of support online. So has our Hungarian driver, Aaron Gurgeli Putsatseri.
And now top 4 drivers in one train going down. There is a fight for a second. It seems like Mark Beltran now is down to third, or he gets back to the second place. There is a fight. Top 3, they were top 4, and now there is almost twice as long as train. They are discussing something on the starting straight, and it goes terribly wrong for Mark Beltran.
Yep, he gets freight trained back to 4th position, 5th position, 6th position, 7th position for Beltran. And the chance for Spain to take their 7th win of the day and pass France. They're currently tied at 6 wins each. That has gone south. Meanwhile, Vladimir Bruno, the leading French driver in this race, his chances are improving because he was able to pass Beltran, and I think the number 14 kart is now in 3rd position.
But Mario Matias just got in front of Sofia Gaborikova, and that was enough for Mario Matias to get in front in overall standings. We have a new leader. Now Roman Curtis is 2 points short in overall standings.
Well, Curtis started 24th, has worked his way up to 19th. Lewis Hutter, who started down in 21st, he has worked his way up to 16th. There's only 2 points in it, but Matisse for Portugal, currently he's running 6th overall, but he's leading the point standings.
And he's in a very, very good position now. P6 at the end of this train. He can do anything in the remaining 6.5 minutes plus 1 lap. There is nothing, there's everything on the table in this race.
Yes, number 9, Tiger Nakahara getting a 3-second penalty. Look at Vladimir Bruno, side by side on the outside for 3rd position in the number 14 kart. He gets past Michael Walters. Walters is now hung out to dry like the laundry. Out of turn number 5, down through turn number 6, moving up slowly. Peter Fabry is in kart number 3, gaining ground, and so is the cat's ears. Sofia Gaborikova, she is into 5th position now as well.
And they are waving each other. Let's go, let's go. There is a short gap between 4th and 5th places. Gaborikova is back up to P5, but the front runners are pulling away.
And you're looking there, the top 3. That's a 12 wheel go-kart working together. 3 of them. Van Leersen just very, very still at the front. There is the number 27. That is Michael Walters from the Dutch Racing Series. That's where he qualified for this race. He's down in what is now 5th position, almost 6th position, as Gaborikova tries to go around the outside. Here is our points leader in 10th position now. No, it's not. Matthias has dropped back. We've now got a tie for the points lead. Roman Curtis and Lewis Hooter, 74 points each. Curtis is up to 18th and Hooter is up to 12th.
But William van Leersum is leading this race. Di Vincenzo and Bruno second and third. We have 4.5 minutes to go. Sofia Gaborikova still in P5 now. No, down to P6 during this lap.
We've got 8 drivers in the lead group,
Bruno
pretty
up to
much.
P2.
Yep, so France want to end today with the most wins out of any nation. Their hopes rest on the driver in second place, Vladimir Bruno. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 drivers, nearly 11 drivers. Back to Marc Beltran in 11th, Ivan Kopchev in 10th in the lead group. Matthias runs in 9th position.
He is coming back. He got 1 position back. He lost 3 in a previous lap.
We've had penalties for Elias Sagato down the order. Maxim Dremin, he's down the order as well. But look at this, 9 drivers. Nose to tail, virtually. There's a move. Oh my word, 2 for the price of 1. Oh dear, that's Peter Fabry. That was ambitious, shall we say?
It's more than ambitious from from P4, trying to get the lead in just 1 corner, and he is at the front. Number 3 of Peter Fabry now is leading the race. Bruno is second, and Walters the third. William van Leersum goes down to P4 together with Theo Di Vincenzo.
Peter Fabry, Vladimir Bruno, Michael Walters, your top 3. Fabry and his supporters will be nervously looking at the timing screen after that 2 in 1 go move. Van Leersum now drops back. He's dropped back to 8th or 9th position. How fortunes have fluctuated. Up into P4 now. Oh, Peter Fabry, I thought as much. 3-second penalty for Fabry. That hands the lead to Vladimir Bruno. Not on the road, but in the race. Bruno and Walters are now first and second, and they've got a bit of a breakaway.
And Roman Curtis gets up to P16, and that is enough to get 2 points advantage over Hooter now in overall standings. Matthias is down to P3 now overall with 4 points behind Curtis.
And Hooter is running 12th, but he's over a second behind. There's another move. Walters now into the race lead. Well, there's probably a lot of Spanish fans down in the paddock area cheering for Michel Walters, because if Walters beats Bruno, then Spain are tied with France on 6 wins. If Bruno, they're both going to draft past Peter Fabry. Look at that.
Doing just that, like managed that before, and they are past both and goes down from 1st to 3rd, Bruno.
But suddenly, Emil Forker from Germany has moved into 3rd position. Obviously, Gaborikova is 4th. Fabry now is 5th, even though he's 3rd of the road. 5th in the overall, in the running order. Van Leersum is 6th. Matthias 7th. 8th for Santos. 9th is Hooter. And with Hooter moving into 9th, he now takes the points lead by 1 digit over Curtis, who is stranded back in P16.
He is P16, but he is half a second behind Justitieri. There is only 0.2 of a second for Polak in front, and Theo Di Vincenzo is 1 second in front. So there is a lot of work to do for Roman Curtis. He still can get the lead after this race.
Yes, so the Netherlands leads with Michel Walters, Bruno second. Fabry is trying to push these 2 away so that he finishes 3 seconds. on the road in front of whoever comes across the line in 4th place. Because if he could do that, his 3-second penalty won't actually cost him any places. They come across the line, 10 seconds to go, so this will go on to an 8-lap race. Defending his Walters, that's not going to help Peter Fabry. Peter Fabry saying, no, come on, go, go, go.
And defending into the first corner goes Walters, but he is still in the lead. He is very, very narrow at the entries of the corner, even in the corner number 5. Now downhill to the 6th and 7th. The order remains the same. Walters is leading, Bruno 2nd, and Forker is 3rd. What will happen in less than 2 laps? This is penultimate lap of this race.
And you could see Vladimir Bruno giving the hand gestures to Peter Fabry saying, okay, this is where we're going to go. When I give you the signal, you follow me. I'll make the move, you push me through. And Fabry didn't get the memo. Fabry's doing his own thing, trying. He's up to 4th place now. He has got another 600ths of a second to pull away from Emil Forker to stay in 3rd place. Does Peter Fabry? What will Vladimir Bruno do? Walters is there, leading. They're hugging the inside line. Next time by, it'll be the last lap. Fabry swings wide. He's going to try the crossover, but really, he doesn't want to engage. He just doesn't want them to fight.
And there is 1 lap left in this race. They are going onto the starting straight, and in the last lap of this race, Walters is leading, Bruno 2nd and Forker 3rd. Forker goes wide in the first corner, then tries to cross to the inside line. The order remains the same. Walters leading, Bruno 2nd, Matthias up, and it's Forker still 3rd on the track.
He's dropped.
It's Fabry fighting, and it seems like Fabry does not know about this penalty.
No, but I tell you what's happened is that Mario Matis has passed Emil Forker on the track. The next car line, and they're no way 3 seconds behind. Mario Matis and Emil Forker have pulled away. Matis has taken 3rd place, and he moves into 3rd in the point standings. There's only a point. Curtis and Hooter are tied for the lead in the point standings. Who's going to win this race? The Netherlands or France?
And it seems, independently of who will win this race, we will have a very, very tight standings just before a superheat. There is Walters coming to a finish line. Michael Walters is leading the race with number 27. They are all on the right side of the track, going from the inside into the corner. Walters is leading, but everything is possible between those 5 fighting at the front.
Who is going to come out? Will France take their 7th win? It's going to be another drag race to the line to round out a fantastic day's racing. Michel Walters takes the win for the Netherlands. That's their 2nd win of the day. Michel Walters becomes, I'll count them up, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 24 heats, 16 different winners from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 countries. The point situation changed on the last lap. We'll come to that in a minute. Vladimir Bruno finishes 2nd. Emil Forker passes Mario Matias on the last corner.
And
that's
we have
important.
4 drivers within 1 second over the finish line.
Yep, and it's important that we note that Matis lost a place on the last corner. With his penalty, Peter Fabry finishes 5th. Then it is the number 20 car, Joao Lucas Santos, in 6th. Right, Louis Hooter comes from 21st to 7th. He has 80 points. Then it was Sofia Gabarikova in 8th. Ivan Kopchev in 9th. William van Leersum drops to 10th. Mark Beltran finishes 11th. Then Tio De Vincenzo down in 12th. Lena Pichler is 13th. Roman Curtis gained a couple of places on the last lap or two. He moves on to 79 points. That was tied for second with Matthias, but because Matthias lost a place on the last corner, the order in the standings is Hooter on 80 points, Curtis on 79, Matthias on 78.
And Walters taking the win in this race goes up to P6 in overall standings. There are 17 points there. Walters is short from Hooter in overall standings, but anyway, he is in top 6. Dvernitsky maintains P5 in overall standings. Forker is 4th, Matthias 3rd, and top 3 drivers separated by only 2 points after 3 heats of this day.
Looking at the highlights there, that was when it all went wrong for William van Leersum, who led earlier on. He gets pushed wide, eventually finishes 10th. And as we come to the closing moments of this, there's the move that eventually won the race for Michel Walters. That was the move he pulled on Vladimir Bruno, and he was able to keep Bruno behind him on the final lap. And we've had so many drag races to the line. I've never seen in a single day's racing just drag race after drag race, side by side to the line. That margin of victory was 1/10 of a second. But what it does mean, Gertz, is that the junior race is going to be special on Saturday. There is Walters crossing the line to finish. What a day of racing, Gertz Tiemerotz.
Hello, yes, that was wonderful, that was intense. We had 3 heats today. Thank you, Henry, it was amazing to work here together with you. The racing for today is over. We will be back tomorrow. There will be a 1.5 hour qualifying for endurance race, and then at 12 o'clock we will start endurance for 12 hours until midnight.
Yes, so to all of you watching back home, whatever country you've been in, even those you've been watching in school today, those have contributed in the live chat feature.
From Computer Science.
Thank you very much. The viewing figures have been incredible. We're going to try and make this event the most watched karting event of the year so far. We've only got to beat the 3rd round of the FIA European Championship. They got 57,000 viewers so far.
Who cares? We still have 2 days to go.
We can beat that over the next 2 days. So thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got 12 hours of endurance racing to cover. And then on Saturday, the super heats and the main events for the sprint classes. On behalf of everybody at SodiKart, WFR, Live TV, this has been day 1 of our coverage of the SWS Sodi World Series International Finals from sunny Campillos, Andalusia, Spain. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. We will start at 12 o'clock.